All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. All right, team. So, good morning, guys. I am awake. I'm trying to wake up. Hold on. It is 5 o'clock in the morning here. So, we're gonna do a poll like we always do. Bullish or bearish on today's jobless claims. Vote on that poll. We got that poll live as well. Hit the like button if you can. Let's try to bump those numbers up to over 100. Yeah, all good, David. No worries, bro. All right, guys. So, SPY gapping down a little bit yesterday, or moving down a little bit yesterday. Kind of rebounded pretty flat, but gapped down a little bit. We're still at about 408s, 407s. Apple at about 160s. We're not really getting any large enough pullbacks for me to really be interested in buying up anything yet. But that is something that I'll kind of keep in mind today with jobless claims numbers. You know, and we'll get the music playing in a second. Bear with me here. My microphone, yeah, my microphone's actually tilted down some for some reason. That might be a little better. There we go. That should be much better. All right, team. So yeah, SPY at 407.30s. All right, guys. Apple at 162.50s. Tesla bouncing all the way back up to 180s, but it's right around 184s, 184.50s. Hey, y'all hit the like button. What's up, Mark? There you go. Hey, thanks, David. What's up, Beach Bum? Let me get the music rolling here. At least the Astros won yesterday. That's all I care about, really. Let me get the music. Hold on. There we go. I mean, I don't think we've moved down enough to really say. I guess the point here, Matt, and I don't know if you're being sarcastic or another or what, brother, but who's Dan? Number one, Peter. Hey, thank you, man. But who's Dan? Regardless of that, I don't think we can move up basically for a month straight like this and then do this pullback right here and then say the bull run is done. I don't think we were ever in a bull run to begin with. I think, I've been saying it for the last couple days. I thought the market was a little bit extended on the upside. So I thought this pullback right here that we got right here was necessary. It was time. We've been pushing up for days and days. We were all the way up to 412. So, I didn't think we were going to hold up there. I don't think anybody really did. I think it was one of the most easy pullbacks to predict that we've had in a long time. And again, I had been saying it for days leading up to it. And, pullbacks are necessary. Now, the big question right now with regards to the market is, does the market stabilize and rebound back and continue up on the run and try to make it up to like 420s, 430s, 440s, 450s and start breaking the highs of the year as well as testing the lifetime high in the market? If that happens, obviously, we're in really good shape. The highs of the market are about 480s right now, so we are at about 407. So we're still a ways off from the highs of the day on the or the highs of the lifetime highs of the market. Um, but yeah. What's up, Bernardo? For me, Tesla is in neutral zone. At the moment, I'm watching 181 and then 176 to the downside. Yeah, possible. I don't know. Yeah, so Apple bouncing up a little bit. I don't know if I like it enough to really buy the dip. We were down more yesterday at the open, and then we rebounded right back up. So we'll see what we're looking like, but All right, SPY at 4,007 or 407. What's up, Mun? What's up, Orkin? Yeah, you as well, man. 170 is my Tesla buy, maybe. What's the symbol on TOS for the NASDAQ composite, though? I guess you're probably talking about... Here's NDX. Where the haters at? They're not up this morning, huh? No. I think it's really hard to be a hater when I've been right about most stuff. You know. How's AMC doing today? Oh wow, dude. AMC gapping up. Again, we told you guys we bought that the other day, and honestly, you love to see it. Cool. AMC gapping up a little bit. Again, remember, we bought this dip at 380s, $4. You love to see it. Honestly, it's damn near one of the easiest trading strategies in the world, and it's got to have an accuracy rate. Again, I'm not saying anything's for sure. I don't know. I have to back test it a little bit more. All I know is from my experience taking these trades, and I take these trades a lot. Looking for there's a couple different types of stocks that you can use this strategy on. One of them is blue chips, obviously. Like blue chips, honestly, some mid caps. It depends on what the daily chart was like prior to whatever it was that happened, right? So like for instance, SQ big enough company to where you could do it on. Snapchat, big enough company to do it on. AMC, large enough following to do it on. You know, so we bought AMC after everybody else was screaming and yelling, and AMC was gapping down after the announcement of the lawsuit settlement. When AMC was at the 380s, you know, and we were holding a position in AMC for like 8 months leading up to that. But we ended up buying it up, adding a bunch more to it, like way more than we initially had just then. We ended up adding a lot more to it at the 380s. You know, a couple days ago, we ended up taking at least half of it off on the spike the next morning to the 440s. And then we let it dip back down, and we just kind of been sitting on that since then. It's now gapping up to about 450 today. So we're back up to where we were. Average price on this is 380s. And yeah, another example of an emotional dip that I buy up and bounces back within a couple days. Very, so far for me at least, very accurate strategy. I can't guarantee it's going to make money for you, but so far for me, that has been working incredibly well. Yeah, but no offense, Tristan. I mean, 3 peaks in a doom house doesn't sound like the least obscure strategy ever. You know what I mean? Like, we could come up with all these strategies, but if they're really obscure, it doesn't matter. You know, 3 peaks in a doom house sounds pretty obscure. So I don't know if we can really base, you know, our future projections off of 3 peaks in a doomed house strategy. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's bad. I've never heard of it. So it's got to be at least a little bit obscure because I trade every day. But if I've never heard of it, it's got to be at least a little bit obscure. I'm not saying it doesn't work. That doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't work. But generally with patterns, if it's technical in nature, then technical patterns work because other people think they work. And if nobody's ever heard of it, then it's probably not going to work that well. And again, I'm not saying this is that. This doesn't sound like a super technical pattern. But yeah. Again, not hating on it. Maybe it works. I don't know. Nope. I mean, these have to do with fundamentals, Tristan. Again, if you didn't hear the entire thing that I said leading up to why I bought the dip, number one, it doesn't really matter that much, but the main fundamental aspect of the strategy is that it's not a penny stock. It's a relatively healthy company that, if you look at a daily chart, has been performing relatively well to the point where I was leading up to the point where I decided to buy it, as well as the fact that the earnings have been going fairly well leading up to the point where I buy it. It needs to be in good fundamental health prior to me buying it. I'm not going to buy up a company, and I'll buy up a company for an emotional dip if it's even if it's not perfect fundamentally. But good fundamentals certainly add to the strategy. They certainly make the strategy work out well. AMC is one of those examples of a company that, number one, had good earnings only a couple weeks ago. Good earnings a couple weeks ago. Or GameStop had good earnings a couple weeks ago. Sympathy moving AMC up. Number two is that regardless of company health, right? Like, I don't care about any of that because, again, the strategy has obviously worked. Again, people said the same thing about SQ when I bought it up after the Hindenburg short report. I bought it up at like 50s, sold it at 60s like a day later. People said the same thing. Again, if I'm buying up extension, we're going to look at fundamentals, but we're not going to base our entire trade off of fundamentals. That just doesn't make much sense. What we're instead going to do is look for generally healthy companies. With AMC, the justification for doing it is, think about how many ape traders support AMC. There's so many traders that support AMC in that regard. And so when AMC dips down to the threes, it's a pretty logical conclusion that, like, it's going to bounce back from those points at least a little bit. Maybe it comes back down afterwards, but it's a pretty logical conclusion that AMC is going to rebound back from the threes, considering the size of the AMC traders in the float, the amount of AMC traders in the float. And so very reasonable in my opinion. And again, regardless of anything, it worked. The SQ trade worked, the Disney trade worked, the Snapchat trade worked, the Google trade worked. And so again, people can try to criticize a very profitable strategy, because they don't understand it, and that's okay. But like I said, I'm sitting here telling you guys, my accuracy has got to be at least 80%, at least, and I have had some losses. Like, I lost Intel about 8 months ago, was one of the last times I lost trading this strategy. Intel, I lost about 8 months ago. I lost a little bit on what did I lose it on? Lyft. A couple weeks ago, I lost on Lyft. But again, I made money on Microsoft. I made money on Disney. I made money on Google. I made money on Snapchat. I made money on SQ. I made money on AMC. And I've made money on Disney at least 4 or 5 times doing the same thing. And so again, we look at fundamentals, but it's mostly just analyzing the fundamental health of the company prior to buying it. Tristan, listen, man. It sounds like you're bearish and you've been wrong, and you're just kind of refusing to look at it objectively. I mean, we can say numbers are wrong, and we can say, all blue chips should be at lows, but I think that's a silly statement, man. The fact that you think anything should be anywhere. Again, I get it. You're saying if we're looking at fundamentals. That's not even close to true, though. Okay, if you look at the EPS graphs,
for a lot of these blue chip companies. They're not, most of them are not struggling with regards to EPS. A lot of them have PE ratios under 30, uh, which signal good fundamental health over the last year. So I mean, again, we could say they would all be at lows. I think that's silly. I think most likely you just took a bunch, you made a bunch of bearish predictions and were wrong. And then instead of being like, yo, I was wrong, you said, oh, well, it should have been there. But if it wasn't for those pesky kids, it should have been there. And again, maybe that's not the case. It's all love here. I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm just saying, in the end, I think we got to just call a spade sometimes. All right, team. Yeah, I mean, let me look. All right, well here, so let me show you this here. So here is Google. You're bringing up Google. Here's their year-to-year quarterly growth. Okay, so if you go by this pattern, they've had higher growth within the last year, and when they have lost, which is kind of, you can see the pattern since basically 2010, it's been smaller than previous, and so again, I mean, we can pull up one metric and use that to determine the broad company health, but that's not accurate. Again, here's Google. Very easy to kind of show this. Again, if you want to see Google's 12-month trailing PE, it's actually been going up. There's Google's 12-month trailing PE, and so I mean, with regards to EPS, I'm pretty sure this is no revenue. So here's their revenue. So Google revenue going up. All right. We can pull up another blue chip. We can pull up, let's say, what, Apple. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of these companies did bad in 2020, but that's not a surprise. And most of them are just kind of rebounding back from it. A lot of their growth, like for instance, a lot of their growth is getting better. We can look at the PE ratios for a lot of these companies as well, excluding maybe Amazon. I know Amazon's currently got a high PE, but I guess the point is they're not going to be at lows. Okay, well, let's look up Google EPS graph. Wow, man, Google. Whew. Man, look at this. What a struggling company here. Google is. Like, come on now, man. Here's Google's trailing 12-month. What is this, EPS? Yeah, this is Google's trailing 12-month EPS graph. Man, what a struggle they're in right now, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, it's easy to isolate one metric and use one metric and sensationalize it and use that as a justification for a lot of stuff being at lows, right? But you can pull up the actual numbers here to show. Again, here's Google's trailing 12-month EPS graph. Again, I'm not hating on you. I just disagree. Again, you want to see Google's quarterly EPS graph? What a struggle. So I mean, oh, you mean this little pullback? So you're saying that justifies? So, okay, let me get this straight. You think that because Google had this little baby pullback relative to highs right there, you think that that justifies it being at lows. Is that correct? All right. I just want to judge how much you actually know about the market and whether you're being emotional or not. And it's all good here, man. Like I said, it's all good. It's all love. I disagree. I think it's silly. Again, I think we can look at the actual EPS graphs, regardless of expectations, relative to the last reports, is what you really got to look at. Like they might react relative to expectations, but you got to look at the broad trend of the company itself. Regardless of expectations, you got to look at what they did the previous quarter, what they did the previous year, and then look at the pattern there, not the expectational numbers. You can look at expectational numbers with regards to how earnings react the market and how the market reacts to earnings, I should say, not necessarily the graph that you're looking at. You got to use previous quarters as the gauge on momentum, strength, and health with regards to the health of companies, man. No offense, bro. I know how, again, Tristan. Again, Tristan, I mean, listen, we can disagree here, man, but people have been telling me the market was going to crash for the last 2 years, bro. 2 years, man. And I've been sitting here saying, I don't know. I've been sitting here saying we could crash. I don't know. But that it's not a certainty. And a lot of the dooms and gloom, like a lot of YouTubers are just kind of copy. A lot of people that are betting on market crashes are just kind of copying off of big doomsday YouTubers in the market who have been wildly wrong. They've been wildly wrong. The market's been popping up huge, relative to what the doomsday YouTubers have been saying. And again, it's one of those things where you can't isolate one bad metric of a company, which they're always going to have, and then use that to justify that company being at lows. That's misleading. I think is the best example of that. And now you can disagree with me, but again, if you pull up the actual graphs here, and I mean, again, you're trying to isolate one metric with regards to growth. A lot of these aren't in growth phases anymore. They're not growth stocks, and so it's just kind of like, okay, with regards to quarterly EPS numbers, which is profitability, so it has to do with profitability. EPS is profitability, right? This is Google's quarterly EPS momentum since, let me see when the last date this was. This was based off of, let me see. Did I lose my graph? I think I did. There it is. Yeah, so this is based back, this is since 2010, but my point is, like, look, if you want Google to be at lows, like the lows, then this EPS graph should be way down here. Like if you think they should be breaking lows, then they shouldn't be profitable whatsoever, and maybe they keep coming down. I don't know. I think AI might influence this a lot, but in the end, I think saying they should all be at lows is silly. And I think most likely, and again, if I had to guess, my guess is that most likely you've consistently over the last couple of years made a bunch of bearish predictions that maybe didn't turn out to be right. And now, even though the market's been pushing up over the last, 6 months, 8 months, now instead of being like, okay, well, I was wrong, you're instead just saying, oh, well, the market's wrong, Okay. Maybe it is, sir. Maybe it is. No reason to argue about it, though. It's all good here. It's all love. AMC up to 450s. Yeah, I'm not really trying to roast anybody out. Right, for sure. How maybe there is a drawdown coming for Google, but the broad trend is up after such a major blow off. You need more downside. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely extension on the upside. I've been saying that for a couple days now. And again, maybe what's his name? Tristan is right. Again, I really don't know. This is something that I've been very consistent about saying, hey, I genuinely don't know. What I will say is that if we're going by PE, which I don't really base all my trades off PE ratio. Again, generally PEs under 30 are good. And again, I just think saying that all stocks should be at lows is a silly statement, and again, we can pull up different metrics to justify. Yeah, Pawn says he's right about the pattern. I've never heard of the pattern, and so again, if it's an obscure pattern, it doesn't really mean much either. In my opinion, if it's a technical pattern, which is what he said it was. Technical patterns are based purely off of people's perception, and so if not a lot of other people have actually heard of the pattern, then it doesn't really mean much. Technical analysis in general is just the reason technicals work is because other people think they work, and it's psychologically related to the market, where traders react to different things, and that causes the market to do different things. But I guess the point is that if nobody's ever heard of the pattern, then I don't know how valid the pattern is. And maybe that's not the case. I don't know, but never heard of it. AMC pushing up to 460s right now. So I'm at this point where I don't know whether I should take some off of AMC. I probably should lock some in, because again, I thought we might rebound back from those low levels, but I don't know if we're actually going to hold up here. Lows? I mean, I guess before we move forward, Tristan, what lows are you talking about? I'm assuming you mean lifetime lows. Which again, for Apple is going to be, I mean, you could be using 52-week lows at 120s. You could be using, I don't know what lows you're referencing. You got to be specific there. I guess the point is, and Tristan, you got to understand where my bias is, man. My bias is in a couple different ways, because, okay. All right. So I was telling everybody to buy, I wasn't telling everybody to buy Disney, but I told everybody I was buying Disney at $90, $85, $91, and again, people acted just like you. They said, oh, you're not planning, you're just kind of basing it off of a hunch, which is really not the case at all. I'm basing it off of tons of previous experience doing what I'm doing. Like, I'm basing it off of back testing, essentially, is what I'm doing. And so I bought Disney at 90s, 91s, 85s, 84s, I think is where Disney hit. And within a couple months, Disney had bounced back to 110s, 115s. Same thing with Google. I bought Google at 90, same strategy, same concept, same logic. I bought Snapchat at 8s, 7s. I bought SQ a couple days ago at 50 something, sold at 60 something. And again, same thing. No plan. You're basing it off of a hunch. Of course I have a plan. But again, the point is that the strategy at this point has got at least 80% accuracy. And so I think saying that I'm not planning the trade just because you don't understand the trade is the wrong thing to do. And again, it's all love. I'm not trying to argue. I think it's a good conversation to have. I think it's an important conversation to have so traders can hear both sides of this perspective here. So it's really all good. It's good content for the channel regardless. So it's all good here. I don't claim to be an expert or anything like that. But again, don't get it twisted, man. That strategy of buying emotional dips after very large pullbacks on what I consider relatively healthy fundamental companies works incredibly well for me. Again, I've got to be running at least 60 to 80% accuracy. I've only lost on 2 in my recent memory, which were Lyft a couple weeks ago and Intel like 8 months ago. All the other ones basically bounced back, at least like the stock itself at least bounced back 5% within a couple weeks. Uh, and so that works really well. I think the market right now is still kind of reeling back from 2020. I think 2020, there was a lag effect of 2020 where, like, when it was happening, the market was actually pushing up, but eventually it did correct and it started coming back down. Inflation got really high because of, there's a lot of reasons inflation got high, but one of the reasons was because stimulus and money printing, and and so in that regard, the market had to correct a little bit over the next couple years from that. And again, we're kind of finally starting to see some bounce backs from all the craziness that we got there. Of course, inflation's high, and it is a really interesting dynamic right now in the market where, you got a large percentage of market that is fearing inflation. And so economical growth, GDP growth, more people working has been interpreted as a negative. And with jobless claims today, which again drops in about it's 6:45, so in about an hour and 45 minutes, jobless claims comes out. It'll be interesting to see how the market in turn reacts to that, because again, higher jobless claims could be interpreted as better, because less people working could be seen as better right now because of inflation fears. Another large percentage of the market is also fearing a recession, and so in that, it could be something where the market wants to see more people working. I think we're still a little bit more inflation fearing as a market right now. And I think that might have to do with stock prices going up as well, because again, and that might influence the graphs that I showed you specifically for revenue. EPS is more so profitability, so it's a little bit different there. But yeah, that might influence those graphs too. And so it might be something where inflation is really, bad, but we don't see like an immediate effect on. We don't see the conventional effect on stocks, because again, to a certain degree, higher prices is better for companies sometimes. Again, we're just speculating on all of it, not 100% sure, but I guess the point is that I don't know if they should be at lows. That's kind of a subjective argument. The stock market's not based purely off of company health, and I think, to be fair, I think somebody even said that, which he said specifically if we're looking at only fundamentals, but market's really based around perception. So I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, so Tristan says, I'm not even saying you can't trade. If you're buying here to long the market, you're overpaying. I guess the point though here, man, is it depends on the time frame. It's all relative to time frame. Whether you're overpaying or not is all relative to time frame. If we're talking short term, I'm not buying up stuff right here necessarily. The only thing I bought was AMC. And again, I don't want it to seem like I'm arguing, because I'm not. I think this is a good discussion to have. So I hope we can do it respectfully here. And again, it's good content for the channel. It really is. It's good content for the channel. It's all love here, it really is. When we buy up stuff here, number one, I'm not really buying up anything right now. I still think the market's a little bit too extended on the upside for me personally. And again, I've been saying this every day. I'm usually, my swing trading is green on the year, in Thinkorswim, trading exactly the way I explained today. But right now, I think the market's pushed up a little bit too much. Again, if we look at the SPY here on a daily chart, or I guess we could look at a weekly chart. It doesn't really, or no, we'll put up a daily chart. If we look at a SPY on a daily chart, or even like a 20-day chart, I think it might be the best example. We've pushed up a lot since early March. And so in that regard, I'm not really the most confident in these levels here. I think a pullback could be due. And again, I've been kind of saying this for the last couple of days. And again, that's exactly what we got. So again, it looks like it was the right move, not buying up stuff. But what the example I gave, like I bought AMC. AMC is not following the market whatsoever. It has nothing to do with the market. In fact, the market is gapping down today, and AMC is gapping up big percentages. AMC is gapping up, what is this, like 15%. And so AMC is actually gapping up to 450s, hit 460s this morning. So, and again, we're going to take a little bit off once we can today. But AMC doesn't really follow the market. I don't think AMC basically goes off of fundamentals all the time either. I think it's a little bit different. Hey, what's up, TD? Short term, I agree, a bit overextended. Yeah, I think we're just pushing up too much. Yeah, sorry, Pawn. Let me check the Discord, bro. All right, so again, we're gonna wait for the market to open up, and then we're gonna buy. We're gonna sell a little bit of AMC. Yeah, Tristan, maybe, man. Again, I'm not disagree with you. Play the trend, not your feels, and don't follow gurus. Yeah, 100%. I think the biggest institutional funds are not really trading these days because trading volume is so low across all stocks. Yeah, it's been pretty light the last couple weeks, at least. You know. Looking at our poll numbers here. We got 51% of people thinking bear out of over 200 people. 49% of people are bullish here. Again, y'all do me a favor, hit the like button. Let's bump those numbers up. We got 46 likes. We could try to hit 100 really quick before 7. Yeah, I mean, earnings season starting next week. We'll kind of pop it off, Tristan. And again, we'll see what happens, man. I guess the point, like, if we look at Google, I think there's arguments for both. If we look at Amazon, I think certainly Amazon has had a really tough year. But I still think, like, even with the PE ratio high on Amazon, this is Amazon's graphs so far. So again, here's Amazon with regards to trailing 12 month. I believe this is EPS. Let me make sure. Or no, this might be. No, this is revenue. So trailing 12-month revenue for Amazon skyrocketing up there. Quarterly revenue for Amazon, getting higher and higher. 149.2 billion in the last quarter. Their growth is slowing for sure, but I mean, you also have to understand, as a company becomes more and more mainstream relevant, growth is going to slow. Like that's inevitable for any company. Like again, growth is not going to be able to continue at the rate that it had at the big period of growth that Amazon made back in 2010 plus. So growth is not going to be able to sustain at those levels for any company ever. But it doesn't mean that it should be at lows. And again, maybe you're not talking about Amazon. It's all good. All right, SPY pretty sideways though. The market volume has been light. You can see the market volume being light in this way here. So if we look at the very bottom of the screen, you can kind of see the volume going down here. So yesterday was the lowest volume we've had basically in the last week, and prior to that, it's the lowest volume we've had in wow. So yeah, prior to that, so let's look at that here. So let's extend this to the left. So yeah, this is essentially the lowest volume that we've had. Yesterday was the lowest volume that we've had since January in the market. So the volume is down like big. It could be holiday related, but volume is light right now. Space going out of business. Well, the space industry is incredibly expensive. Again, one of the things that I've always said is that mid caps are the easiest shorts. I think more traders lose money investing in mid cap stocks than any other niche of stocks, excluding maybe penny stocks. But I guess the point is like mid caps are very misleading sometimes. Like a lot of people invest in mid caps and they treat them like they're blue chips, like their money's safe. Your money is not safe in a mid cap company. Your money is never safe in a mid cap company because, again, what happens is that they're generally overinflated, they're generally overpriced. Mid cap specifically are very overvalued a lot of the time. They're overhyped. They have to put out more marketing than a blue chip because nobody's heard of them, and so they have to kind of increase like BYD, Peloton, honestly, Rivian to a certain extent. Again, same example here in that regard. Space. You got to look at the broad company though. Like here's Space. I've been saying this for years and years and years. I've been telling people I didn't like space. The reason I don't like space is because when I look at the business as a whole, I don't understand how they're going to make money and if they're going to be able to get past competition. When you got Jeff Bezos and a bunch of other billionaires competing in the space industry like Elon Musk and Bezos, it's not crazy to look. This one used to be big. Like, look, and this is what happens to a lot of mid caps. I want to bring people's attention to this. And so one of the reasons I look at specifically blue chips when I use the strategy that I use, and again, the strategy that I tend to use is buy the dip. If it breaks down too much, I'll sell it. But if it's not completely right short term, I'll just hold it. But again, you can see the graph here on space. This is what happens to mid caps a lot of the time. And so just be very careful bag holding these type of companies because they will fail a lot of the time. There's space. Again, here's BYND. Same type of pattern. Rivian, same type of pattern. Peloton, same type of pattern here. And so you can invest money in mid caps, but you got to be okay with losing whatever it is because, again, very misleading companies. And there's a reason when I do this, I try to stick with companies that have been around for a long, long time. Like Disney's been around for a century. Amazon has been around for at least like 15 years, and they're already very big. Apple has been around for, 50 years, 60 years. So those are the companies that I specifically target with my dip buys, not mid caps, because mid caps you just don't know what's going to happen unless we're talking about like something big happening with like SQ in the short report. I'm not going to hold SQ long term. I just don't trust it. AMC, I mean, I was already in AMC, which influenced that trade a little bit more, but hey, what's up, Kieran? Selling dream tickets to nobody. Yeah. I can agree more. Mid caps is the large caps. Well, yeah, I mean, again, you got to understand the stocks that I'm doing it on, Tristan. And again, you got to understand the broad logic behind why I'm doing it. I'll explain the strategy a little bit more in detail. I usually explain it at least once a day, but I'll try to do it again. I'm going to go ahead and take 10 shares or a little bit more off of AMC just now. So I just locked in some more profit on AMC just because I can. Average on AMC right now is 386. Just took some profit at 450 for AMC. But again, the strategy mostly is like this, Tristan, is so when I look at Disney, for instance, right? So like Disney's a good example. I look for big emotional pullbacks, right? So I look for long-term weakness in a company. Not long term, maybe over a year. And so one of my buy levels on Disney has always been $90. It's something I've been very vocal about. $90, $90, $90, $90, $90. Except for 2 times here, it dipped only $5 underneath that. But where I buy it up is I try to buy it up at objectively weak, extended short-term levels. So like Disney at $90, $85, in my opinion, is objectively valuable relative to their diversification portfolio with regards to uh, what they own: Star Wars, Marvel, ESPN, with future projections with Disney Plus, new Star Wars movies and shows coming out, new Marvel movies and shows coming out. All that stuff can make me pretty safe, in my opinion, buying up Disney when it hits pretty cheap levels of $85, $90. And it's one of those situations where maybe we do get more weakness from Disney in that situation, and maybe it continues dropping down. But I don't mind holding this for years if I really need to. And so if it goes my direction within a couple weeks, great. I will take profit. I'll lock in profit, protect the trade. If it doesn't go in my direction, as long as it's not like a crazy breakdown, like as long as it doesn't drop to 60 or 50 or something crazy like that, then I will sit on Disney as long as I need to. Because generally, when we're looking at a technical level on Disney, $90 is objectively cheap and valuable. And so if I can wait for that pullback area and then just be patient, I don't mind. Like, I've got enough buying power to where I can lock up, however much I need to over a couple of years and then let Disney make me a decent percentage. And again, Disney is Disney. It's diversified. It makes a bunch of money. It's been around for a century. And so I don't mind holding it for as long as I need to hold it and let it bounce back. Same thing with, Amazon, Google, stuff like that. I don't mind holding those long term. Now, I'm not going to hold SQ for years. I'm not going to hold, no, AMC is a different story, but the whole point is to get into healthy enough long-term established companies and find objectively cheap levels on the downside. And again, every time I buy this dip, everybody's screaming, hey, Disney's going to hit 50 next week. Just watch, and then as Disney kind of pushes up more and more and more, they eventually realize that I was right. And again, I've done this a lot on Disney too. I mean, if we put this up, I've done this a lot on Disney. Disney's probably my favorite stock to do it on. But the big edge in the market, the long-term edge you have is generally over time, the S&P 500 moves up. Generally over time, the S&P 500 moves up. And again, if you want to see an example, so like, look, I can show you. I'm not lying when I tell you I do this on Disney a lot. Like, I'm not lying when I tell you I do this on Disney. Again, these are my trades. So, I guess the point is I'm not just kind of pretending to do what I'm saying I'm doing. I've done this a lot, and it has been wildly successful for me. And I've done it with multiple different tickers and symbols as well. Yeah, Pawn sent me some pictures of it. It's all good, Tristan. Who's lying? I mean, I just showed you guys the trades that I got into. You can see I bought up Disney at 94s, 93s, sold at 99s, bought it at 96s, 92s, sold at 93s, 97s, bought it up at 93s, 92s, sold it at 97s, 95s, bought it up at 99s, 93s, 91s, sold it at 103, bought it up at, yeah. Amazon long-term purchase at 100 or less is pretty attractive. Well, the PE ratio of Amazon is the only thing that stops me from wanting to buy that. And so the PE ratio of Amazon is the only thing that's kind of like, well, when we're looking at value, uh, Amazon doesn't even have a PE ratio, I think, right now because of its negative quarters. Let me make sure. I'll have to find it. Yeah, so if we calculate the PE ratio of Amazon right now, and again, let's take a look at this. So here's Amazon right here. Right, so Amazon at about $101. Okay, we could add up the last couple months of PE, which if it has a negative quarter, we're not even going to be able to look at PE. But all right, so no negative quarters for Amazon. So we can add up the trailing yearly PE. So we add 0.03 plus 0.28 plus 0.18 plus 0.37. All right, so it's 86 cents. I mean, then we take one, we'll call it 101. We divide it by 86 cents. That gives Amazon a PE ratio of 117. That's very, very, very high. And so in that regard, I don't know if I trust buying Amazon right now. Again, the PE ratio is just objectively very high. So, that's the only risk. Like, you got to understand, PE ratio matters, and it's not the end all be all. Like, it's not the perfect metric, but it's something like to determine if I want to buy up stuff. I'm going to look at the PE a lot of the time. And Amazon over the last year, since April of 2022, again, if we look at that trailing 12-month PE, it's had about, again, just to put it into perspective, a PE ratio under 30 is good. Like, when you're looking at companies, a PE ratio under 30 is generally seen as positive. This is not good. This is 5 times higher than you really necessarily want it to be. Yeah, I'll put the timer up. I got you, man. I'm not going to be specific, D. Again, to put it into perspective, again, and I would get in trouble if I lied about this. Okay, like I could get sued and charged and all this stuff if I lied about what I'm about to say. I am green on the year in Thinkorswim. I would say my accuracy rate with regards to the swing trades I'm talking about right now is at least over 60, I think. Now I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. But I'm pretty sure my accuracy rate is at least over 60 or 70. But again, I'm green on the year. That's all I need to say. People could say I'm lying, whatever. Again, last year I did pay capital gains. And I am green this year so far in 2023 on TOS, on Thinkorswim, which is the main platform that I trade on. So all right, so let's put this timer up. So it is about 7:10 market time. We got about an hour and 20 minutes. About an hour and 20 minutes before the market opens. Put Tesla up here so we can take a look at it. Put Disney up here. Here's Apple, Amazon, SPY. SPY just broke green on the day, which is nice. We'll see if it continues. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. PE is not the end all be all. Bomb. Yeah, I'm not going to be specific D there. Again, from a liability standpoint, again, I'm not a guru. I don't sell a course. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm not even claiming to be a good trader. That goes against kind of what I run the channel on with, which is mostly just like, hey, we're just a free resource and community for traders. We're not selling content. We're not selling a course. We're not claiming to be experts. We don't charge for content. Everything we put out is free. We have sponsors and stuff, but like content wise, it's all free. So I'd rather not have too much pressure. Again, if I start listing actual numbers and all that stuff constantly, then that's a lot of pressure. And in all honesty, I just don't want that type of pressure. I would rather just tell people, hey, look, I'm not an expert. Not have to worry about any of that stuff because, again, trading online is already very difficult. Trading on YouTube is, yeah, there's jobless claims today. And the jobless claims expectations are... Again, so the market is closed tomorrow, and again, we're still going to stream, probably at least going to stream. Hey, is the Forex market closed tomorrow? Again, SPY up to 407.80s. So jobless claims are expected to show up right now at, let me find it. So number one, we got challenger job cuts today. Jobless claims are expected to show up at 200,000. So jobless claims are expected to show up at 200K. And jobless claims are expected to show up at 200K. Will higher or lower cause positive reactions? I think higher jobless claims numbers will cause positive reactions. I think there's going to be a positive correlation between the market itself and jobless claims. Not 100% sure, though, but I think. All right, so we're getting our poll live. Also, do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button. We got about 80 likes right now. We could get over 100 if we push. So do it now. All right, so we got a poll going live as well here. If you want to vote on the poll, We got our poll live right now. Dude, is anybody else having glitches on Twitter? Didn't I just tweet? Where'd my tweet go, bro? Honestly, Twitter's been acting kind of sus. Do we need to post this again, or where's my tweet? Yeah, I just don't know if it's gonna make me post it again. I just did the thing. I don't want to I don't want to double post it, but I think I gotta wait to see it when it shows up. I just did a poll. Do I need to do another one? All right, guys. Again, SPY up there to 408s, 47s here. Amazon starting to creep back up. Tesla up to about 185. Still slightly down on the day for Tesla. Okay, I guess y'all give me a follow on Twitter at Beginner Trades, if you want to participate in these polls. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do this again, man. I just did it. But I guess we're gonna have to refresh it again. Again, get some glitches. All right, guys. So, yeah, sorry, I gotta write this out. But again, do me a favor. We need 5 more likes to break 100. Real quick, 5 more likes. Again, vote on the poll we got going on now. All right, so we got 3 options on our Twitter poll. Higher is good, lower is good, or higher is better, lower is better, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys think here. There we go. All right, so this one actually worked at least. But yeah, vote on the poll. Look at Amazon right back over the previous closing price. Hey, what's up, Bulldog, my guy? What's up, brother? I hope you're doing good, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, dude, Twitter's been kind of glitchy for me lately. Yeah, give your boy a follow on Twitter, guys. At Beginner Trades. Hope you're doing good, Bulldog. Angel Reese, man. Bro, honestly, they need to leave Angel alone. Okay? Angel Reese, man. Honestly, Caitlin Clark, or whatever her name was talking smack all year against everybody she played. She was talking smack. You know, but when she did it, ooh, it's so spicy. Wow, so competitive, right? Angel Reese goes out there for LSU, beats the most hyped up team and player in the world, and then talks a little smack, and then all the Iowa fans come out the woodwork like, ugh, so disrespectful. It's like, oh, you weren't calling your girl disrespectful whenever she was doing it to every team y'all played? Now y'all are mad that LSU did it to y'all? Taste of your own medicine there. Leave Angel Reese alone. Okay? She's the GOAT. Leave her alone. I have no idea what we're going to get, David. He said, Yo, BT, what are you personally expecting today? A rise or fall with the job claims? I'm not sure, to be honest. I have no idea. I think it'll be something where higher is going to be interpreted as better. This is real time, CY. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, honestly, that's how it is here on this channel, Kieran. Is that like people will talk smack and and then whenever I talk smack back to them, they're like, "Oh, John's mean," And it's just kind of like, what? Listen, I'm a smack talker too, and I'm naturally a smack talker. Like growing up, that's what everybody said about me, was that I talk too much smack. Dude, I'm just naturally, I got that debater personality type. And so, again, I don't even know if these personality tests are valid. I really don't. Again, to me, they could be kind of like horoscopes almost, where it's like they're just kind of pandering to you and telling you stuff that you want to hear. Like, oh, a debater personality type is super intelligent and smart, but he's loyal to a fault. And so anybody that reads that is going to be like, that's me. Oh, yeah, that's me. Horoscopes will be like, yeah, Sarah is kind, good-hearted, caring, loves her friends, but sometimes, she cares too much. And so anybody that hears that is going to be like, oh, that's me. That's me. I care too much. So they're just kind of saying positive things, trying to get people to be like, yeah, that's got to be true, right? That's what horoscopes do, is that they just tell you things that are vague to where you could really assume that about anybody. They're positive, like even the negative things. You're like, oh, they don't let people walk all over them, or it's just kind of like it's so vague, and anybody's gonna be like, yeah, that's me. I don't let anybody walk over me. It's just kind of like, well. But anyways, the debater personality type is actually a personality type that came out of the Myers-Briggs personality test, which is honestly, my daughter took it, my wife took it, and I took it. It was pretty accurate. But yeah, I have the ENTP personality type. It says the debater is a person with extroverted, intuitive thinking and prospecting personality traits. They tend to be bold, creative, deconstructive, and rebuilding ideas with great mental agility. They pursue their goals vigorously despite any resistance they might encounter. Quick-witted and audacious, they aren't afraid to disagree with the status quo. In fact, they're not afraid to disagree with pretty much anything or anyone. Few things light up people with this personality type more than a bit of verbal sparring. And if the conversation veers into controversial terrain, that's okay. It would be a mistake, though, to think of debaters as disagreeable or mean-spirited. Instead, people with this personality type are knowledgeable and curious with a playful sense of humor, and they can be incredibly entertaining. They simply have an offbeat, contrarian idea of fun, one that involves a healthy dose of spirited debate. And again, that's what it says about my personality type. And I don't know if that's right or wrong. And again, I don't know if they're just telling me things that I want to hear. Just to take the other side of that. Like, it could just be fugazi nonsense, unicorn dust. And I don't know. Possible. Let me know what you guys think. I think they now do like another personality test over this one. So I don't know how much this one is really relevant anymore. Where's the wind blowing in today's market? I don't know. Top 3 smack talkers in the world right now? Definitely top 3. Yeah, I mean, I think inflation fears are going to make higher better and lower worse right now. But again, I don't know for sure. This is one of those reports that we don't really know. So jobless claims are one of the more interesting releases. They cause market reactions, but again, they haven't really been the most consistent with regards to what type of reaction we've gotten relative to the data. Sometimes the data will come in higher than expected for jobless claims and the market will drop, and sometimes the data will come in lower than expected and the market will rip up. Or sometimes the data will come in higher than expected, the market will drop, and sometimes it'll come in higher than expected, the market will rip up. Because of that, I'm not really super confident. I think inflation fears are going to make higher, better, lower, worse, but I'm not 100% sure. Pure speculation and just guessing, essentially. I don't think inflation's behind us. I mean, I think CPI has gotten noticeably better. And so I think we have had better CPI reports, better PPI reports. But again, next week is going to be the real tell of that. Because again, next week we have CPI coming out. And CPI is the biggest release we got. And so very relevant release here. And yeah, we'll see what we get. Again, we got some votes already. 60% think lower is better. But again, that would mean like, what a scammer in the comment section. Scammer in the comments on my Twitter account. But yeah, so far we've got some votes so far. 50% think lower is better. I disagree. I think higher is going to be better. I think higher is going to be interpreted as positive. Lower is going to be interpreted as negative. Not 100% sure though, of course, and we're just kind of waiting here. But I generally think inflation fears are going to make higher, better, lower, worse. Right, Fed wants to cut jobs, so they want to see higher jobless claims numbers. That's what I'm thinking as well. Yeah, AMC, rip it up. Hey, we're green in it too. You love to see it. We are green in AMC. We took a little bit of profit this morning too. I'll take it. Hey, what's up, Liv? All good. Bullard speaks today. Yeah. It really is like the last couple months or the last couple weeks have been pretty slow. The market does start to heat back up though next week. So next week we got CPI, Fed minutes report, jobless claims. There's a bunch of stuff that happens next week. Tomorrow we have unemployment and non-farm payroll numbers, and we'll probably still stream it. But most of the market's closed. The futures market is actually open only up until about 45 minutes after that report. So we'll probably stream futures stuff tomorrow. And then just kind of close it out. You know. You questioning the test. Is it the debater personality type? Yeah, I guess so, man. I guess it would confirm. But it's not that I'm just generally skeptical of stuff like that. I'm skeptical of horoscopes. Again, I think they put out a bunch of vague things. Like, watch, like, okay, I could enter. Give me a what is it called? What's a horoscope? Give me a horoscope sign. What is it? Yeah, so okay, well let's look at Aquarius, right? Like I'm an Aquarius. So look, an Aquarius horoscope, let's just look it up, right? They are known to be progressive thinkers who can see patterns in things others might not notice. They can be unpredictable, sometimes even moody, and often strike others as unique, leading with originality and creative. Like, bro, anybody that reads that is going to be like, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. That's got to be me. Oh, man, I am creative. Oh, I am progressive and see patterns. Like, bro, anybody's going to label themselves that. You know? Like, it's just nonsense. You know? I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Scorpio. Okay, we'll look at Scorpio here. deep and emotional and are intense natural leaders. Anybody who reads that is gonna be, I'm a natural leader. I'm deep. Nobody's gonna say, hey, I'm not deep, I'm simple. Who's gonna say simple? Nobody. I don't know. It describes everybody well. No offense, it's the same people that say that they can talk to the dead, right? The same people that say they can talk to the dead. Most of the time, they're getting inside information from either the family members or whatever it is. Like, bro, you could throw out a bunch of very common names, like, hey, Bill, and be like, did you know a Bill in your life? And they'd be like, yeah, I did know a Bill, And then like they're just pandering to people. Like it's terrible. It should be frowned upon. SPY is ripping up right now though. Back over 408s right now. Now we're done with John's horoscopes on the day. SPY all the way back up to over 408s right now. Over 408s. Amazon's still kind of struggling. It's right at the previous closing price. We got Tesla at 185.40. Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely debating the horoscope. Hey, that's what we do here. I'm not. I think the Myers-Briggs personality test is more valid than horoscopes, just to put it into perspective. Again, I'm still skeptical of the Myers-Briggs. And again, it could just be pandering to my ego here and just be telling me things I want to hear. Like, John, you're so smart. John, you think outside the box. John, you're so entertaining. I want to hear those things. And so, yeah, of course, I'm going to be like, yeah, dude, that's me. But that's how they get you. Okay. All right, job cuts 89K versus 65K. So we did have challenger job cuts today. They just dropped just now. They came in at 89. Wow. So challenger job cuts just hit again. Came in at 89.7 versus 65 for March. So they cut way more jobs. I think that's initially what the market just popped up from. And we do have jobless claims in about an hour. Amazon up there. Tesla up there too. Yeah, you seen that preacher who was like, what did he say? Who's the guy that sold him the jet? They're like, hey, Mr. Preacher, why did you spend millions of dollars on your own personal jet, sir? Why'd you do it? He said, oh, well, the guy made the jet so cheap, I just had to buy it. It's like, hey, preacher, why'd you spend $2 million on Rolexes? Oh, well, man, the Rolex dealer made them so cheap, I just had to buy 20 Rolexes, guys. Come on now. You would have bought 20 Rolexes too. Freaking crazy people, man. How do people get away with this? Honestly, that preacher kind of freaks me out. He might genuinely be like some weird dude. That dude just seems off. I don't know if he's senile or like what it is, but like that guy, they could make a horror movie about that guy and I'd probably watch it. AMC at 450s right now, 450. So I took a little bit of profit. It almost got up to 460s. Hey, thank you, Kaiwan. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, sir. Yeah. US Tech and S&P 500 1-hour trend line was broken overnight. So even if results are good, I'm only going long for results and then shorting it on the way back down. Hey, good luck, brother. Thoughts on Tesla for today? I think Tesla's pulled back a little bit over the last couple days, and so I think there could be an argument for a bounce today, but I really don't know, man. Again, Tesla's up a lot over the last couple months, really, if we look at it. And again, I was wildly wrong about Tesla. People were telling me I should buy Tesla down here, and I told him I was too skeptical of it. And obviously, in hindsight, I was wildly wrong about it. It ended up pushing up over 100% back up there to 208s eventually. So yeah, just wildly wrong about Tesla. And again, the big thing to understand is that it's volatile. This level might play a factor right here, right around 160. But this pullback's interesting. We'll see if we bounce. There could be some extension, but I think it's also following the market to a certain extent as well. Yeah, for sure, Kieran. Yeah, Nvidia's up way too much right now. Just way too high for Nvidia, man. If you look at Nvidia here, again, the ETH merge caused it to drop. This thing has gone from 108s to 280 in 5 months. So huge percentage increase on Nvidia, way too high up for me to even touch this thing at all. It's just too expensive right now. It's just gone up way too much over the last 5-6 months. Just way too high up there. I'm not saying it's not going to keep going up, but it's just way too high up there for me. Again, it goes against how I generally buy dips. I buy dips on extended stocks. This is extended, but it's not extended on the downside. Kind of same thing, to be honest, with Tesla. Is like I would buy Tesla, but it's just a little bit too extended on the upside, in my opinion now. And I'm not saying it's not going to keep going up. I think with Tesla, with how it's been moving, I think it's very possible that Tesla keeps going up. But again, it's just not. I think the edge is a little bit too small for me in that way for Tesla, just because it's up so much over the last like 5 months. Yeah, I mean, I understand why I didn't want to get in Tesla when it was way down there. You know, Elon, this was at a point where Elon was making some very, for lack of a better word, controversial Twitter posts. And again, I'm not really getting into politics. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with anything. I don't know. But I just, at the time, I was nervous because I think when you run a public company, you have to stay somewhat neutral, at least most of the time. Now, there's always outliers to that, but I think when you run a public company, you have to stay somewhat neutral. And so when he's coming out saying those things, I was skeptical. I thought Tesla stock might be affected by it, but it looks like it was relatively resilient and maybe even helped the company. So, again, I'm not super upset I missed it. You know, I'm not going to be able to catch everything. But yeah, Tesla bounced back pretty quick. AMC still up there. It's at 455s right now, 455s. And again, we'll see if it holds. All right, so we got a couple different news. Microsoft responded to the UK CMA's provisional findings regarding Activision, and they said, quote, overall, Microsoft welcomes the CMA's revised findings and agrees that the CMA's conclusion that the merger will not result in a substantial lessening of competition for the market for the supply of console gaming services in the UK. So yeah, the monopoly lawsuit with Microsoft and Activision. Getting some news there. There's also, again, we'll put the Challenger job cuts came in at 89. We got Bullard speaking. We can cover Bullard, but What's up what's up S? If unemployment claims come in higher than expected, is it bullish? So are you meaning jobless claims numbers? So if jobless claims numbers, number one, we don't really know what kind of reaction we're going to get in that way. Like, we really genuinely don't know if we're going to get a good reaction, a bad reaction to jobless claims. We really don't know. Again, we don't know what's going to happen. It's not been the most consistent thing in regards to reaction. And so my guess, and then, but again, it's purely a guess here, is that higher than expected jobless claims will equal a positive reaction in markets. That's my guess. And again, the reason I think that is because that's kind of been the tale over the last 6 months, as well as the fact that inflation fears with the market pushing up like it has been over the last 6 months are going to cause people to see economical weakness as strengths in that regard. And so that's my guess, is that higher jobless claims numbers will equal a positive response in markets. But again, certainly not a for sure thing. Certainly not a for sure thing. And again, something that we'll just have to wait. And again, give me a follow on Twitter at Beginner Trades, at Beginner Trades. We post a lot of this big stuff dropping. Yeah, I've kind of evolved though from scalping in a lot of ways too. I still scalp the market, obviously. You guys see me do it, but a lot of what I'm doing right now is mostly swing trading, fundamental trading, dip buy trading. Even like again, the biggest, most profound thing that I use on a regular basis is extension. I trade extension in a lot of different ways, in day trading and swing trading. I am looking for big extended moves, and then I'm trying to take the contrarian trades based off of those moves and extension. Uh, Again, Tesla pulling back a little bit. We'll see if it bounces. We got 45 minutes until the actual jobless claims numbers come out. We'll put the numbers up on screen. There we go. Yeah, thank you, K1, Cajun. Who's the Cajun trader here? I saw that you follow me on Twitter. Do I know you personally? Be real. Be honest. If you do, like outside of YouTube. The reason I'm asking is because I'm from Louisiana, and I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people that I know that see me doing what I'm doing here. I know people have, like, I've had people who have reached out to me and been like, yo, I saw you on YouTube. So I'm just trying to see if I know these people personally. Because I think, what do you mean by trading extension? No, the opposite. I buy when they're at the lows. Yeah, everybody's a little bit different. There's different trading strategies, all that stuff. Who gets more profits? Oh, that's what you're referring to. Who gets more profits, scalpers or... it depends. It depends on the size. Anybody can take more size and make more than the other. I would say the easier thing to do is to swing trade. Swing trading is much easier than day trading by far. You know, I mean, different people are going to have different skills, but swing trading is much easier than day trading is, in my opinion. The reason it's easier is, and I'm not saying swing trading is easy. Okay, just to put it into perspective, I'm not saying it's easy to swing trade, but the reason swing trading is easier than day trading is because swing trading involves fundamentals to a certain extent. So you can look at company health, you can look at fundamentals and technicals. Swing trading is less technical heavy, right? So SPY just broke highs of pre-market again, all the way up to 408.15s right now. Amazon moving up, Tesla moving up with it. Not Tesla's still red on the day, but both of them are starting to move up. But I guess the point is, like, day trading is pure technicals. It's all technicals. Like there's no fundamentals in day trading. It's pure technicals in nature, unless you're trading specifically like catalysts of some sort or whatever it is. Swing trading involves a little bit of both, a little bit of fundamentals, more technicals, but a little bit of fundamentals. And I think when something's purely technical, it's harder to trade. But again, everybody's different. It's not universal. Of course, there's going to be outliers that do better at day trading than swing trading. I do both. My swing trading has been, if you're patient enough, swing trading can be very powerful. My swing trading has been very, 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 very accurate. Much more consistent than my day trading is by far. Not saying I don't like day trading. I day trade every day, but my swing trading is much better. Love you. Have a good day. No, mess up your hair. Oh no. All right, SPY still ripping up, guys, up to 408.15s. Amazon at 101.20s. Tesla at 185s. Yeah, I haven't been swing trading a lot lately. I'm mostly a long trader. I usually buy up dips, and I haven't been confident very much in the dips lately, to be honest. Not saying they don't work, not saying we can't do it, but... All right, guys. So again, we're kind of sitting back here. All right, try to be patient here, guys. All right, so SPY almost up to 408.20s here. We got Tesla at 184.90s. Good morning, guys. Again, we'd like to thank you. Good morning, guys. Again, would like to thank you for covering all the release data. You make our lives easier. Thanks. By the way, could you explain the 10 a.m. report too and how important it is? Thanks. Which 10 a.m. report? I know we have the FOMC member Bullard speaking, but that's not really a report. It's more so just a speech by Bullard that probably will influence markets to a certain extent. We also have Canadian unemployment coming out. So we have Canadian unemployment, Canadian employment change, stuff like that today. So, but Bullard speaking, let me look. Again, SPY at 408s, Tesla at 184.90s, Amazon at 101s. I'm trying to see Bullard's speech today, but I don't see anything. Bro, honestly, the Fed does a terrible job of scheduling these speeches. Terrible job, man. Like where in the world are you supposed to watch the speech? Like, they don't ever schedule it right. They don't ever actually schedule it, like, well. It's always so difficult to find these speeches. Like, all the Fed. You know, from somebody that covers everything related to the Fed mostly, they make it incredibly difficult to find any of this stuff, man. They never have anything pre-scheduled in advance on the site so you could see exactly where to watch it or anything like that. And maybe it's intentional, but yeah. Hey. All right, guys. So SPY testing highs again at 408.20s. 408.20s. Google about to break over 106. Yeah. Yeah, all good, Sam. Can you go over Top Step, how to be trader? Yeah, I have a link thinker. Right now, there's a 25% off sale going on with Top Step. So it's like, if you've ever thought about using Top Step, today's probably the day. I think the sale ends today. But you get 25% off right now on Top Step. 25% off. Top Step, again, they're a sponsor of mine. I know you probably hear me plug them a lot. Just understand, this is the first plug we've done all day. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours. So this is the first plug we've done all day. But again, I only accept sponsors from things that I genuinely think are useful. All right, like, I really only do sponsors from things I genuinely think are useful. Again, if you want to see my actual email, like, look, Like, let me show you this, just so people understand that, like, if I wanted to shill way more for stuff, I would, right? So, like, here's my beginner trading email. Like, I'm gonna show you how many offers I get for sponsorships. Basically, I'm the top 3 most offering traders in the world right now. All right. So, like, this is my email address. This is my email. All right. Well, we got to get this one out. I don't know. Well, ignore the SJ email. That's just, Anyways, look at all this. Hey, I saw your YouTube. I think my project matches. Hey, we want to partner with you. Join us for here. Hello, sir. I am an ad sponsor and want to place an ad. Hi, beginner trading. This is a unique mobile app. Please let us sponsor you. Good morning, sir. My name is blank from wherever. We know your credibility. We've been following your channel. Want to sponsor you. Thumbnails. I'm a regional agent for a new app. Please let me do it. More. Hello, I'm an ad sponsor. Want to place an ad. So I get sponsorship requests every day. But the whole point is basically I'm top 3 most, sponsored trader in the world right now. But no, point is, I only accept sponsors from things that I think are actually useful. Top Step is the most useful way for a trader to gain exposure to day trading if they have less than 25K, in my opinion. All right. So again, there's no PDT in futures. That's number 1. So it's like where you can't trade the SPY with less than 25K in a margin account. You could trade the S&P 500 futures contract, which is the same thing. No PDT restrictions in that regard. You can use a margin account. You get instant settlement. You can short in futures. No PDT restrictions. If you want exposure to that with less risk, you put up the money yourself. You need at least 10, 15,000 to do so yourself, really. But when you do that, you're risking a lot. Instead, you could take a funded account program. It's the most useful way to get started, test your skill. It genuinely builds skill, and there's a ton of resources for them to use. So basically what they do is they give you a demo. And if you can hit the target on their demo without hitting the max loss and while following the rules and phases that they have for you to test your profitability, if you could pass that testing, they fund you between 50 grand all the way up to 150,000 with a 90% split once you're funded. So you're keeping most of your profits. If you're good enough, you're keeping most of your profits regardless. If you're not good enough, you probably would have lost money regardless, whether you put up real money or did this, but it's much cheaper to lose and learn on Top Step than it is to put up 15K and lose $2,000 in your first week, and that's certainly a possibility. And so in the end, it's just cheaper. It's a cheaper way to learn. It still gives you the same pressure that you have to learn to deal with in trading without a lot of the risk. If you lose on Top Step, you're down 100. Right now you can get the base package on Top Step for $124 right now. If you use my link, 25% off sale going on. I think it ends today too. But again, genuinely useful for traders. Allows traders to test their skill, learn how to trade under pressure. They give you resources. You could build trading plans and it'll alert you when you break those plans. You still have the same pressure, but if you lose, you're only down $120 something right now. And you can reset for 100, try it again. Still teaching you how to trade. But if you're good enough to pass it, you still keep 90% of your profit once you're funded. So you get funded, you make 20K, you keep 18K of that. So best of both worlds, in my opinion. Genuinely useful for traders. It's only in futures. But you can see the link there. Oh, yeah, I definitely need a haircut, bro. But again, top 3 hairstyles in the world right now for sure. Definitely top 3. But yeah, there's the link. Check it out. We got about 30 minutes before jobless claims numbers, guys. 30 minutes. Yeah, they even changed the way, right? That's what the 25% off sale. So they changed it to express funding. So basically you pass the steps, you immediately get funding. So basically there's less steps now, which is even better for them, right? And they're kind of the gold standard. They've been around for over 10 years, over a decade. They're kind of who everybody else copies off of. None of the other platforms that have copied off of them are really going to admit that they copied off of Top Step, but Top Step's been around for 10 plus years. They're kind of the gold standard, So again, other places might say they're better and have easier rules or whatever, but it's difficult to get money from the other platforms once you're funded. You can look that up and see that as well. So again, Top Step's the gold standard. Of course, I'm biased in their favor because they're a sponsor of mine. But again, I think it's genuinely useful. Who? What? Hey, dude, I just want to say thank you for the channel. I've made a lot of money by getting your on-time data releases. Hey, my guy, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. What the heck is everybody talking about? Call him daddy. What is everybody saying? Am I out of the loop? Am I not cool anymore? What is everybody talking about? Honestly, I'm still not convinced it's not bots, but hey. Hey, what's up, Tobias? All right, guys. Jobless claim. SPY, pull it back a little bit. You can see a pullback at Amazon, a pullback at Tesla, a pullback on the SPY as well here. Coffee's good, guys. Whew. All right. What's up, Raphael? Hey, thank you, D. Trader John, can we partner and do business today? Is there anything I can help you with on your channel? Sorry, brother. No offense, D Traders. Nothing against you, man. But I'm not really looking for work right now for anybody. I'm not looking for contractors right now. To be honest, I've had a lot of people that wanted to work with me. And to be honest, most of the time it just generally causes more headaches to work, to hire people. Again, like I don't, number one is like we're too small to hire anybody over for an actual job. And I think there's been a few people that work for me that think it's going to be like a actual job where I'm going to like need them to work all day, every day. And again, we're just not large enough to really need that right now. It just doesn't make sense to the gain that I'm getting from somebody working for me is not worth the money spent. No offense to anybody. But I got a lot of people that reach out to me wanting to work for me. Pawn is my main mod. He helps me more than anybody else with anything. And honestly, we don't really need more than that right now. And so I appreciate the offer. But again, most of the people that I try to get to work with me, like a lot of the times what happens is like we hire somebody and like we have philosophy disagreements. Like again, I've brought people in and like they'll join my Discord and they'll post every day on Discord and they'll just start pumping penny stocks and they'll say, buy this now, do it now, buy it now. And I'll be like, hey man, like you don't know whether that's going to go up. And they're like, oh, I do know, it's going to go up now. And then a day later it's down 60%. And then they just kind of silently pretend like they never said it and move on to the next thing. And so then when I tell them, hey, look, stop that, like that's sketchy, then it's like, how dare you correct me, and then it's just kind of like, all right, I guess they think like, I think after a certain point when somebody posts enough in my Discord, they think that they're immune. They think I won't ban them, and I've had a few people that were like, they posted every day, but again, we had philosophy disagreements, ideology disagreements. I'm very with my community, it's really something where I try not to pressure anybody to do anything. You guys know me. I always tell people I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what we're going to get. I'm certainly not telling anybody to buy anything. I'm certainly not pushing a course on anybody or telling anybody to buy anything or really pressuring somebody to do anything. I'm certainly not fudging my numbers and pretending to make 20K a day. And again, I get a lot of people that want to work for me that end up just kind of acting that way. And then I just kind of boot them out and then it's drama. And it's just a headache, I guess. Yeah, Pawn's the best mod we got for sure. Oh, he's been booted out, Max. For reasons I said above. It's not just one person, bro. There was multiple different people that acted that way. And again, most of the time I think it starts from like them wanting to work for me not really having much jobs for them, and then them getting weird that I'm not paying enough attention to them and just kind of lashing out and saying crazy stuff. That happens too. But again, over time I've learned it's just easier. It's less of a headache to just kind of, keep it how it is. We're growing like we need to right now. If we weren't growing, maybe I'd be a little bit more desperate to kind of do some stuff, but we're growing so much now it doesn't matter. SPY pulling back to 408s. Yeah, thanks to Bill, I make $2,723.87 every second. Kindly find him on Telegram. AMC push it up. It's at 460s right now. 460s. Again, I took some profit this morning. I bought the dip. Average is 380s right now for AMC. Right, 100%. People who say they know for sure what's going to happen are generally the people who know the least about what's going to happen, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure, Justin. Hey, Bulldog, hope you're doing good, brother. Hey, what's up, Shepard? Good to see you back. SPY moving up a little bit. Now it's pulling down some. Just broke under 408s. Tesla pulling that, probably dragging the market down a little bit for Tesla here. Tesla's probably dragging it down some. I don't know who that is. Honestly, if I look it up and it's some YouTuber, I'm going to ban anybody that said it because they're just trying to subtly promote somebody else. Oh, oh, wait. Yeah, this might be a bot promoting. They've got 800 subscribers. Barely any views. They might just be paying people to spam their stuff. Or maybe they're a more famous person than I know of, but... Oh, I'm definitely top 3 biggest legends in the world right now, Polo. Definitely top 3. Was it Larry? I don't know. I get them all mixed up in my head at a certain point. Maybe I didn't ban Larry. I don't know. Again, I banned Bruce. I banned a couple different people. I banned SJ. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna ban anybody. The only way I ban people, like, again, the only time I ban people is if, like, either there's a couple different reasons. One of them is if they're just giving me a headache every day. Like, if they're just constantly waiting to disagree. It's fine to disagree sometimes, but it's like, if you're disagreeing with everything I say constantly, eventually you're probably just gonna get booted out of here. It's fine to disagree and have constructive criticism occasionally, but if it's always there, then it's just too much of a headache. Anyways, we got 20 minutes before jobless claims numbers come out. And again, I really don't understand the nuance, or I understand the nuance of today, but I really don't know what kind of reaction we're going to get here. I really don't. We did a poll number today. So far, we got a decent amount of votes already. 33% think higher is better. 38% think lower is better, and 29 honest people say they don't know what kind of response we're going to get here. Again, SPY pulling back to 407.70s. Yeah, disagreement and false gains posts. Yeah. Are you not tempted to buy this dip? This dip isn't really dippy enough for me. It's not the top 3 dips in the world right now. All right, guys, AMC up to 470s. Up to 470s. Yeah, again, we're in AMC right now. We bought the dip. Again, people hated on me when I bought that dip. We bought it at 380s. Average is 386 right now. It's at 460s. Almost up $1 per share. Almost up 25%. AMC's almost up 25% relative to where we bought that dip. Might be up actually a little bit more than that now, actually, if I gotta look at the math there. Yeah, dip ain't dippy enough for me right now, you know. Yeah, for sure. Market is closed tomorrow, bull. But we'll still probably cover the economic releases we got going on. Hey, thank you, Giovanni. Hey, good luck, Frankie. I hope you guys make money. All right, almost up to 470s on AMC. Man, everything I touch turns to gold here, man. Look at everything. Look, I buy Disney, boom, goes up. I buy AMC, boom, goes up. I buy Google, boom, goes up. I buy Microsoft, boom, goes up. Honestly, I'm just kind of trolling. SJ's over here in the Twitter comments pretending it's not him, creating fake accounts and trying to troll. And thus is the reason they get banned. You want to know why they get banned? Is because a lot of them are just weird, you know. Good day to you, sir. I do like the block feature of Twitter. Yeah. You know, as somebody really world renowned once said a long time ago, I think in the 1700s, I've got the magic stick, you know. AMC up to 475s right now. Huge rip right now. Huge rip. I think I'm just gonna sit in this a little bit longer, but not by much. Yeah. Yeah, it's SJ. Like he's just mad. Like again, if you want to know why people get banned, it's because they act like that. And I mean, listen, when you look this good, I mean, listen, when everything you touch turns to gold, I mean, you know, you're gonna get haters, man. Definitely top 3 most gold touchers in the world right now. AMC up to 475s. Again, I'm in it at the 380s. I've already taken profit, though, is the thing. And so the question I have with AMC right now, at least, is do I sell now and lock in profit and ride off into the sunset, turning a long-term losing trade into a green trade? Or do I just sit in this and let it work? I could just sit in it. What do you guys think? Chat, what are y'all thinking right now? Let me know. You're wrong, Dave. You're wrong, sir. Yeah, you're wrong. The numbers come out today. Jobless claims come out every Thursday, brother. Today is Thursday. Jobless claims 100% drop today. So today, again, we had Challenger job cuts come out, came in much higher than expected at 89.7 thousand versus 65,000 expected. We got jobless claims dropping in 15 minutes. Expectations are for 200K. They 1,000% drop today. They drop every Thursday. Again, jobless claims, to put it into perspective, this is the procedure here. And again, understand, I'm also, when I talk about I'm the greatest ever, I'm obviously being sarcastic, guys. Now, that might rub people the wrong way, especially if they get booted out of the stream, you know, but like, you guys know I'm obviously being sarcastic, except for the good looks part. I mean, y'all know that's true. But with that said, jobless claims numbers 200,000 expected. Again, I think if we come in higher than that, the market will probably go up from it because of inflation fears. I'm not 100% sure. Again, we'll see. But yeah. Let me know if you're bullish or bearish on this. Again, we got about 15 minutes before jobless claims come out. Yeah, I mean, the reason I bought AMC is because, again, the reason I bought it is simple, is because it dipped really, really heavily. And again, I generally think there's risks here. But I think when we pull back such a big percentage short term, regardless of the reason, in a stock that has that big of a following, I think it's an obvious short term dip buy. An obvious short term dip buy. And so, yeah, when it pulled back to the 360s, 380s, I bought some shares and it worked out very well. Like I said, it's moved up about 25% from where I bought it at this point in time. And so we can call it whatever we want, but it was definitely a correct trade, you know. Now, again, we'll see what happens moving forward. I hope it continues going up. I guess I'll hold a little bit of it, but yeah. Yeah, well, I've already done that, pup. I've already done that. Yeah, we can call it skill. We call it whatever we want. Again, the accuracy rate of me buying dips just like this in both AMC, SQ, Disney, Google, Amazon, the accuracy, Snapchat, the accuracy in those dip buys is very, very high, very, very high. Regardless of anything else, it's worked really well. It's more probably I probably sound like a broken record talking about that strategy, but again, the strategy genuinely works. One of the hardest parts of that strategy, though, I think if you're not me, because I'm just kind of used to it. But one of the hardest parts, I think, is just dealing with people criticizing it if you tell them about it. You know, Snapchat, I had people calling me an idiot and all this stuff when I bought it at 7s and 8s. Ended up ripping up to like 12s pretty shortly afterwards. AMC, you kind of hear it a little bit with AMC. So again, I think you got to kind of tune people out in that way. You know, generally people are emotionally biased because of their own positions. And so I think it's just kind of how the market is. I think the market's just, you know, you're always going to have disagreements in terms of trades, stocks, and strategies. Look at Tesla start to dip here. So again, SPY right at the previous closing price, basically completely neutral and flat. Futures are open for a very small period of time. Very small period of time tomorrow. I think they close at like 9 o'clock market time or something like that. So we'll stream the data tomorrow and then we'll cut it probably, you know, right afterwards. 100% Benjamin. How'd that dip buy on Tesla go yesterday? I didn't buy Tesla yesterday. Did I? I think I made money on it. Yeah, I'm not in Tesla anymore. Let me see. I can look up my trades here. Yeah, we lost a little bit yesterday, but like we lost like $20, you know, and that was more like a day trade. That wasn't an actual swing trade. We bought up Tesla on a small day trading pullback. And so, I mean, yeah, we're not 100% accuracy, but that's not the swing trading strategy I'm talking about. I didn't really consider Tesla cheap at 193. That doesn't have anything to do with the strategy. That's mostly just a day trade that didn't work out. Yeah, next week is a huge week. Yeah, 100% Bulldog for sure, bro. All right, guys. 9 minutes here, 9 minutes. Yeah, it definitely depends on how you execute the strategy, Martin. I think the biggest problem is that like greed gets in people's heads, right? People get greedy, man, and people just want to continue to hold things. They refuse to take profit is one of the biggest problems. Like one of the huge parts of the strategy is like, look, if I'm up big short term, I unload very quickly. I'm not trying to hold on to that thing, whatever it is. I try to hedge the bet. I try to lock in profit as soon as I can. So if it goes in my direction within a couple days, weeks, hours, if it goes up big enough for me to be happy taking profit, I will. And again, that way I can be a lot more loose on the rest of the trade. So it's like if we take half off and we're very green in it, even if it turns against me there, we can cut it break even. And that's one of the biggest kind of hedges you can make in those trades. It's just protecting the trade in that way. And then you're in a really favorable position. If you're in a position where you're not going to lose money, but you have the potential to make much more if you can, then that's a great position to find yourself in. It's the same strategy of basically like day trading, building up a cushion first, and then once you have cushion, swinging larger size into that profit already, because that way like you're not going to lose too much money on the day, hopefully, but you have the potential to make much more, and that's how you kind of compound profits in that way, I think. All right, but yeah, SPY is basically flat on the day, right at the previous closing price. Still got about 7-8 minutes. Yeah, I did, Chris, man. I saw y'all posting about that in the Discord, bro. That's sad, man. That's sad. I've got some family that lives in San Francisco too, and so I was, I didn't know the crime was that bad. I thought San Francisco was kind of like an artsy place. I don't really know much about it, to be honest. I thought it was more kind of artsy, less crime, but yeah, I heard about that. The Cash App guy. Rest in peace. It's sad, man. Yeah, I don't know much about the AI stock. I don't know that much about it, to be honest. Look it up. So look up Cash App creator. Okay, we got 6 minutes. All right, SPY back up to 407.60s. Amazon testing 100.6. We got about 750 people here already. So, hey, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. So the guy that it happened to, let me see. Bob Lee. So his name was Bob Lee. He passed away in San Francisco. They found him at like 2:30 in the morning from an apparent mugging. So rest in peace, man. Sad. SPY up to 407.60s. Let's see if we can hold. Tesla breaking lows of pre-market right now. Still got about 5 minutes here. 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't know enough about the AI stock to really say. AT&T earnings on 420. Someone went heavy into calls yesterday. 98% of calls, 2% puts, over 1 million contracts. Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with jobless claims. We got about 3.5 minutes left. Again, I think higher will be worse, lower is better, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, guys. Again, SPY up there. Couple minutes left, guys. Couple minutes left. Let me know what you think. Looking at our poll numbers here, we got about 800 plus votes. 52% are bullish, 47% are bearish on jobless claims numbers. We did a Twitter poll as well here. We got a decent amount of votes. And again, give me a follow on Twitter at Beginner Trades. At Beginner Trades. Again, we got about 2.5 minutes left, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Again, we're starting to break down. Again, about a minute left, guys. About a minute and a half left. Get ready. Jobless claims numbers. Expectational numbers for jobless claims is 200,000. I'm going to get all my sources ready so we can cover this quickly. Because, again, we'll get 1,000 plus people here for this because we cover it fast here, guys. So be ready. We're getting it all set up now. Good luck today, team. All right, guys. Again, hit that subscribe button. We are going to put it in sub-only mode since we can. We'll see if we get the numbers fast here. But 40 seconds. And if you want to chat with us, we're putting it in sub-only mode. We appreciate the love, guys. Here's the data, 25 seconds. All right, guys. Tesla's starting to break down at 183.40s, 183.40s. Amazon at 100.7s. All right, so there's the number. So the data came out at 228,000, 228K. Carol with the worst time ever. 228,000 is what the numbers came in at. 228K for jobless claims versus 200K expected, higher than expected. And as I thought, we might get initially a positive reaction. Maybe we turn back around. We're down at 407.40s, but 228,000 is what the data showed up as. 228,000 here for jobless claims numbers. So again, we'll put this up on screen, but 228K. 228,000. Continuing claims came in at 1.823. So higher than expected on both fronts. And the market did not like it. It ended up coming back down. Hold on, guys. I'll be right. Hold on one second. All right. Sorry, guys. Carol's terrible with timing. SPY pulling back down at 407.20s, 407.20s. Amazon at 100.6. Tesla at 183s here, reacting negatively to this, and maybe we can buy it up. Canadian unemployment rate also came out at 5% versus 5.1%, so a little bit lower unemployment rate in Canada versus the US here. So again, data came in higher than expected, higher jobless claims. It looks like the market could be fearing a recession right now because look at everything dropping essentially. But yeah, again, market correcting to the downside here. Amazon breaking the lows of pre-market. SPY breaking down here, down to 407s. Tesla down to 183s. So again, initially a negative reaction, not the biggest reaction, but we did get somewhat of a reaction here. Again, 183 or 228 versus 200,000 expected. In terms of continuing claims, we came in at 1.823 million versus 1.699 million expected. So interesting. So again, like we said, we don't know what kind of reaction. It's still pretty early, so we still have I still think there's a chance that we rebound back up on this data, because I think higher jobless claims number equal less economical growth than expected. So less economical growth than expected. So it's an interesting time to see what happens. Is the Fed going to pivot? I don't know. Yeah, we'll give it a couple minutes to see what happens here. And again, guys, remember, Top Step has a 25% off sale. You can get the base package, the base combine on Top Step, the 50K combine for $124 right now. So if you want to try to day trade, cheapest way to test yourself. If you're good enough, you can get funded with a 90% split. If you're not good enough, you're going to lose less than you would if you put up the money yourself. There's no PDT in futures. This is the easiest barrier of entry, getting your feet wet in futures. Very cheap. It's the cheapest sale we've had all month. And if you want to check it out, there's the link. They are a sponsor of mine. Great way to help support your boy here. But yeah, market's starting to flush back down to 407.20s here, 407.20s. Amazon bouncing up a little bit. Tesla dropping down under 183s. Yeah, but honestly, the Fed to a certain extent wants less people working right now, because less people working. Again, you got to look at it from the inflation goggles on. Right. And in that regard, again, we don't know what kind of reaction we're going to get. I told people many times before, I had no idea how we were going to respond to this, because this one was a little bit more up in the air relative to a lot of releases in terms of like what's considered good and bad reactions. But right now, generally, the whole point of Fed raising rates is to discourage spending, discourage the economy to a certain extent, and discourage jobs, because more people spending is going to be interpreted as a negative thing for inflation problems. More people spending means more people buying. More people buying means businesses raise prices. More businesses raising prices means worse inflation pressures and problems. That is kind of something that's happened over the last year. But again, because of the banking stuff that happened over the last 3 weeks now, it could be a situation where the market considers all of this bad because of recession fears and the banking, stuff that happened. I think that's certainly something that could be showing here. And again, let me know what you guys think. Again, to put it into perspective, this drop is very, very small. And again, if you look up the market over the last 20 days, this is a 20-day chart on the SPY. And so I think something I see people do a lot is like the market will push up, kind of quiet, crickets, push up, crickets. Market will make this huge move. And then we get a little bitty pullback like this. And then the bears come out like, aha, I told you so. And it's like, look, I'm not saying we're not going to crash. I'm not saying we're going to keep going down. But like the broad trend of the market over a 20-day period is this. Like that's what the market has done, which is general. Like pullbacks are necessary. Again, am I going to buy this pullback? I don't know. But I don't think bears should come out the woodwork saying I told you so either yet, because at this point in time, market is very strong over a 20-day period. I'm not saying you said you. I didn't never said you did, Heavy. It's all good, man. Market wants a zero jobless claims, 2% inflation, good economic growth, no interest rate hikes. Yeah, that's a little bit unrealistic right now, I think. What do you guys think? How many? All right, market has basically rebounded all the way back up to where we were prior to this. So we are back to green relative to this release. We are back green relative to the release now. SPY all the way back up to 407.50s here. We'll see if it can hold support there. But market's bouncing back some for sure. Should have bought the dip. Also, guys, check out Chart Prime here. Another one of my sponsors. And this is just a genuinely cool sponsor here. Again, I have 4 monitors. So, like, some of my trading you might not see me use regularly. But, like, I use Chart Prime every day. To put it into perspective, like, look at yesterday's price action. Like, so this is yesterday on the SPY. And Chart Prime is a trading view indicator service. So, they give you custom signals, custom alerts. You can see they show you reversals up and down. So, they show you possible reversals. They show you candlestick patterns and momentum, but like, look at this. I can't fake what I'm showing you here. So like, again, let's look at yesterday's accuracy with regards to the reversal indicator. This can be powerful and you can use it on any time frame. Look, reversal down, drop, reversal down signal here, literally called the very top of yesterday's open, drop, reversal up signal here in a MS candlestick pattern, nice bounce. Again, this one, I guess you could consider this one wrong, but look at the multiple engulfing patterns show up. Huge bounce over minutes and minutes. Reversal down, literally called the top of this move. Literally called the top of yesterday's price action, drops. And then again, you get another reversal up signal at the very bottom. Bounce. Reversal down signal here. Drop. Reversal down signal here. Drop. Multiple bearish engulfing candles, drops. Reverse signal again, literally calling the very bottom, bounce. This one could be considered wrong, but again, in general, they can be powerful. And again, you can use this on any time frame. So you can, it's a trading view indicator service, so you can use it in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. My favorite time frame to use it on is a 3-hour chart, because sometimes you'll get literal days of a specific trend using this type of service. But yeah, look at this here. So again, two great examples of a 3-hour chart or a 2-hour chart. Look, reversal down signal here. It gave you the signal over days. You get drops. Again, reversal down signal and two candlestick patterns. Again, drops over literal days. Each candlestick represents an hour. $35 a month. Very cheap. You get 40% off if you use my link. Get it for $35 a month. Very, very cheap. Again, and genuinely useful. They are a sponsor of mine, so I'm certainly biased in their favor. And I try to be transparent and honest about that. But again, genuinely useful. If you want to check them out, here's the link. It's called Chart Prime. Market is irrational and there's a lot of money on the sidelines. Yeah, for sure. Market is just kind of sideways. AMC up. Yeah, I'm in AMC still. I haven't taken any yet lately, or over the last 20 minutes or so since I last talked about it. But AMC starting to pop back up. Again, I think I'll just sit on the rest. I think I've made enough profit and taking some profit off of that. I can just kind of let the rest ride. There's the link. You can also find the link in the description. All right, guys, market's chop. We'll see if we get a reversal here. We're still pretty flat from this release. Again, if you can kind of see, the data came out right around here, and so we're not really doing much from this report. In all honesty, Amazon was kind of breaking down prior to this report. If you look at it here, same thing with Tesla. And so we didn't get the biggest reaction here. Again, tomorrow we do have non-farm payroll data, as well as we got non-farm payroll data, as well as unemployment tomorrow, and that'll be relevant for sure with the market. Yeah, they come in real time, mister. They come after the candlestick pattern shows up. But yeah, they don't reprint. They don't show up afterwards just to confirm they're right. They show up after the candlestick that confirms them happens, and they don't reprint. At least the reversal indicators don't reprint. The support or resistance ones might, but different story. Yeah, there's a ton of different stuff. Travis says I signed up for them this weekend, giving it a try. Yeah, their oscillator is really cool. It's honestly, I use it kind of like a VWAP, and it works really well. You know, like look at the oscillator on a longer term basis here. Like, look, here's the oscillator. You can see it. It turns green when it's bullish, and like, look at that bounce. Pull back right to it, bounce. Pull back to it, bounce. So you can kind of use it on both sides. It works really well. Again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money with it. Nobody can. Of course, they're a sponsor, but again, pretty useful. Check out the description if you want it. But so the market's closed tomorrow, except for futures, which are open the first couple hours of the day. So the only thing that will move tomorrow when we have that data release is futures. So futures will still probably move tomorrow. All right, so again, look at Tesla dump under the lows real quick. Let's see if this drags the market back down some. It's trying. So it is chart prime indicator is called the market oracle is the one that I was just showing you that has the oscillator, the reversal signals, and the candlestick patterns. It's called the market oracle. Oh, that's not the oscillator. Oh, you're talking about the RSI like oscillator. My bad, Travis. Yeah, I'm talking about. I can't remember what they call the VWAP like indicator. It's not the oscillator though. You're talking about the RSI thing. Yeah, they've showed me that. So yeah, if you sign up for Chart Prime, they'll also give you like a class for free. They've got a really active Discord too, where they'll teach you how to use them a little bit better than I can here. So it's actually a pretty cool service. It's paid, but it's $35 a month. But you know, again, it's paid. Bank earnings next week. Yeah, Friday bank earnings. Bullish jobless claims. Again, as I said many times, I don't know if it's going to be considered bullish or bearish. I think it's a little bit different. Revised 246. Again, we got Canadian unemployment rate come out at 5%. All right, Amazon bouncing up a little bit here. We'll see if it drags the S&P up some. Yeah, it's not called proprietary reversal signals on Chart Prime. Look at on Chart Prime, this is what it is. So like you go to Chart Prime, you go to scripts, market oracle is what it is. You also have chart patterns here. So like for instance, I could look at a longer term and it'll show me like, check this out. So it'll show me these patterns here too. So like you can kind of see it's a rising wedge right here and it'll kind of document that, show me where the top and bottom is. But again, just powerful. Like you can see reversal up, down, all that cool stuff. And again, I do use it. I've got 4 monitors though, so you can't really see me use it. But I don't know. I didn't see that it was revised. What mail are you talking about, bro? So we use your link for discounted chart prime. Well, yeah, you get 40% off if you use it, M. It's not going to show until you check out, though. So you got to wait until checkout to see it. And again, they're a sponsor of mine. Again, biased in their favor, of course. I always try to be real and honest about that, of course. Um, all right, Amazon at 100.5s, Tesla at 182.70s. On Top Step, can we trade tomorrow? I don't know. You got to look it up, brother. I'll have to look it up. I think they sent me an email regarding that. Let me see if I can find it. All right, so Good Friday holiday trading hours. So 8:15 Central early close. So 15 minutes before the market closes. So it's up. So you can trade symbols CT, ZF, ZN, TN, ZB, UB, and GE, and also FX 6A, 6B, 6C, 6E, 6J, 6S, and E7. Up until 10:15 Central, so 11:15 market time. You can trade the E-mini, micro E-mini, NASDAQ, micro NASDAQ, RTY, M2K, NKD, YM, and MYM symbols up until 9:15 market time. So, up until 9:15 market time, you can trade those. And you can't trade CL, QM, NG, OG, grains, metals, or agriculture on Top Step. And basically, you can trade with limited hours on any type of account up until, basically up until 8:15 Central, so 9:15 market time. So yes, it will be open. It's not going to be open past basically market open. SPY bouncing back up a little bit, pretty sideways. Jobless claims report. I wish it was that easy, YouTube. He says the fear of inflation faded away. The fear of echo releases is on the way now. Or the fear of economic recession is on the way now. Anything good for economic growth is good for market. Anything bad for growth is bad for the market. I don't think it's so set in stone at this point. I think that jobless claims reaction initially went up and then it went down and now it's going back up again. So number one, I don't think we've had such a clear response at this point in time to jobless claims. That's the first thing. I don't think we've had such a clear response. The second thing is that if we're gauging economic releases over the last month or so, that's not necessarily the case. Like over the last month, generally, it's been something in which more economic growth is still seen as a negative because of inflation fears over the last couple months. Now, it could be changing now. I'm not saying we're not. But again, I guess what I'm trying to say is we don't really know yet. That's an interesting thesis. It could be right. But I don't know if it's a for sure thing yet. I don't know if we should bet money on that yet. Again, we'll have to wait and see. So the market's open Monday, correct? All right, guys. So SPY still chopping back and forth. And again, we'll wait to see what the opening bell will be interesting today. The 4 window. Using your strategy on Tesla small shares making lunch money today. Hey, good luck, Maximus. Yeah, just be careful, brother. Again, Tesla is one of those stocks that, is a little bit more volatile than typical, than what I usually use that strategy on. So just be careful, man. I know the market's closed Friday. What about Monday? I think market's open Monday, right? Market started to test lows here, guys. Test lows. All right, guys. So again, Amazon just cracked lows. SPY just broke down to 407 here. Let's watch the 407 support level. It could be a decent support level. We'll see. Yeah, maybe. I guess. I think they're open Monday for sure. All right, there goes Tesla crack under the lows of pre-market. So Tesla cracking down a little bit now. All right, still bouncing right at that 407 level. Again, that should be an interesting psychological hold dollar level. We'll see if it holds that support, but it's trying to. Again, so we did a poll on Twitter. Who? Yeah, y'all got me Googling things I shouldn't be Googling out here. Again, just kind of consolidating right now. We'll see what happens with the market. Consolidating. All right, Amazon at 100.4 here. We still got about 30 minutes until the market opens up. About 30 minutes. All right. Yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. What's up, Ren? Bro, they're giving out random names, and then I'm wondering who they're talking about. So I looked it up, and then I was just kind of like, okay, shouldn't have looked that up, and then I just kind of exited out. That stuff's bad for y'all, man. That stuff's bad for y'all, bro. Like, Aaron, what's Aaron been posted about since the Benzinga nonsense, man? Yeah, I think Adam Aaron's gonna get sued, and here's a genuine question here. Now that jobless claims are over with, let's do a genuine question. I got a genuine question here. The question I got today: will Ron still be CEO within the next year? Will Adam Aaron still be AMC CEO in April of 2024? Yes or no? That's a good poll. Again, SPY bounced up, still at 407. Again, we drew the support level. We talked about it, and then look at how many times we bounced off of that level so far. Not any big bounces, but still. Yeah, there might be low volume today. It's a holiday weekend. Market's basically closed tomorrow. We do have some economic releases tomorrow, but again, I'm not saying yes or no with him. I really don't know. But I think he already had to settle one lawsuit with people being upset. Basically, from what I understand, and again, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong there, but from what I can understand, Adam Aaron is they had to settle a lawsuit because he essentially hold on, let me put the chart up. So here is the micro E-mini. He had to basically settle a lawsuit because essentially he got sued by retail traders because of the ape dividend, right? So AMC holders of AMC stock sued AMC because they said that the ape dividend diluted their shares. Basically, from what I understand, that's what the lawsuit was about. Was that basically some retail traders said, "Hey, we bought shares of AMC." But then you put out the ape divvy, basically doubling the float size when AMC already had a large float of 500 million. So basically they came out and said, hey, you doubled the float size with this ape dividend. Now the float is essentially $1 billion in the float, which not only diluted our share of ownership in the company, but also made momentum on the upside, and the squeeze that everybody kind of preached about way less likely with so much with much more dilution in that regard. And so that, I'm pretty sure, is what the lawsuit was about. Yeah, interesting. But basically, and Aaron settled that suit. So he did settle that suit, and he ended up paying millions of dollars worth of AMC stock to said plaintiffs. So after they said no, right? So I mean, I think we might see more of that moving forward. I'll be surprised if he still has a job in a year. Yeah, for sure, Chris. And why would they dilute the company? I mean, maybe if they were about to fail, that's one thing. But like, they already had 500 million shares. Like, that type of dilution is, a pretty rough thing for AMC at that point in time, especially with a lot of people wanting a squeeze. It's really hard to make 1 billion shares float squeeze. Like 1 billion shares is a lot. That's a lot of dilution. It's no wonder AMC's range and momentum dwindled down a ton afterwards. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they needed money. I understand why, I guess, but again, it's something that basically was a death sentence to the squeeze that a lot of retail traders wanted. I think that's essentially what it was. Looking at our poll numbers, let's catch back up on the poll. So again, vote on the poll. We got about 60 votes. 53% think he will still be CEO. Spy, break it down. So Spy just cracked. This is the E-mini. Again, starting to break, crack lows again for a split second. And maybe the market's more recession fearing right now. Mid caps usually raise money from the stocks, so stock goes down long term, even when bag holders or investors stay the same. Right, for sure. I mean, again, mid caps. If people can learn anything from me in this way, understand how risky mid caps are. Like, mid caps are really tricky because new traders, retail traders, don't understand why they're risky. Mid caps are risky simply because while they do have higher growth ceiling, the risk is much more profound. Like, if you're mid caps have the chance, just like they have the chance of going up big, they have the chance of dropping 80% in a year. Peloton, BYND, Upstart. I could probably go on and on with this. And so investing in them like they're blue chips, and a lot of people don't understand the difference. Like, a lot of people don't understand the difference between, between Beyond Meat and Apple. I mean, they understand the difference, but like, to some people, they're the same class of stock. Same thing with like Rivian, right? Rivian, kind of the same thing. There's a lot of examples. What was the example we called earlier? Anyways, the point is, a lot of people don't understand. And so they invest in them like they're Apple or Disney or Amazon. And then when they drop 60, 70%, then they just kind of turn into long-term bag holders, pumping the stock up. But again, if I'm putting money into anything long-term, it's not mid-caps. I mean, you got a higher growth potential. The ceiling is higher, but the risk is much higher, Any idea about the US dollar crashing? I'm sure probably the Dixie's probably moving up right now, no? All right, we're at 102.12s. 102.12s. Dixie up to 102.12s. AMC starting to bounce back. Pull back to 450s. I'm an AMC A-list member. I go there a lot. A big problem I've noticed is that they have good movies. They don't give hardly any playtime while pushing the popular family movies. Honestly, I went to the movie theater the other day. Honestly, one of my issues here is like I go to see 45 million years ago or whatever it is, 75 million, 65 million, whatever the movie was. Dinosaur movie is what I'm going to call it. Okay, I went to go see Dinosaur movie a couple weeks ago. And it's like a PG or PG-13 rated movie. So I bring my son, my 9-year-old son. Bro, the previews for this movie were all like terrifying horror movies, man. My son's sitting there like with his jaw dropped like, you know. And I'm sitting there like having to cover my son's eyes like, dude, do not look at this right now. Like they're playing Evil Dead 2 trailer in a PG or PG-13 movie. It's like, bro, what are y'all thinking? Like, bro, y'all know kids are going to be watching this. Y'all are going to, play that. My son's sitting there scared now. Who's planning that out? Who's designing that? Honestly, Evil Dead, Carol and I used to watch a ton of horror movies. I love horror movies, personally. Carol and I used to watch them all the time. We watched Evil Dead, the first one, which is like the remake, because I used to watch the OG ones from back in like the 80s. Carol watched Evil Dead, never watched another horror movie with me since. Basically, that movie made her turn away from horror and never watch another one. It was that scary. And so to play the trailer to a 9-year-old, that's kind of out there, Yeah, the Beyond Meat Impossible, they just got hyped up too much, man. Again, vegans, I can respect vegans. They're disciplined. I'm not against vegans. I understand. People hate on them. I get it. But, like, I can respect vegans. All right. The Impossible burgers and I've said this 1,000 times, but, like, selling the Impossible burger, at Burger King, vegans aren't going to care about any of that stuff. Like, they're not going to go to Burger King regardless. Like they're missing their mark there. Like vegans aren't going to go to Burger King. It doesn't matter what you sell there. They're not going to trust Burger King enough. They're very health conscious people. And so what's the purpose of doing that? I get it. You want to make it more popular, but I think in the end, they were just overhyped. Again, SPY at 406.80s. Someone had, yeah, for sure. They just didn't think that through. All right, guys, we got 20 minutes left. 20 minutes. It's not gore, Ren. It's supernatural horror mostly. So it's like, yeah. Again, if you look up the Evil Dead 2 trailer, 9-year-old in there watching that. So they're like, man, now my son's freaking scared every night. It's just like, come on now. Who designed that? Because again, they have to understand that kids are going to go see the dinosaur movie. It's a dinosaur movie. It's it's not a rated R movie. They obviously know kids are going to see that. So why would they put that trailer? Just strange. Hey, what's up, Quentin? Yeah, it's also super expensive too. Can you briefly describe how you enter a micro trade on Quant Tower? Quant Tower is this left side here. To enter a trade, it's just like day trading stocks. So you buy market, buy bid, sell ask, buy ask, sell ask, buy bid, buy market, sell market, flat and close. The only difference in futures with stocks, and there's no PDT in futures. That's the big edge. You can day trade short, no PDT rule in futures, right? And Top Step is the most legit funded program for futures in the world. They've been around for over a decade. Fund thousands of traders, pay out millions of dollars in actual withdrawals. Have the safest payouts, in my opinion. They pay out millions every year. And what they do is they test your skill. They give you a demo. If you can hit their targets and follow their rules, they fund you between 50 grand up to 150 with a 90% split. But again, the big edge is that there's no PDT in futures. So if you're good enough to get funded, you get 90% and there's no PDT rule. And so, the biggest difference between stocks and futures, though, number one, when you day trade futures, you day trading commodities. The reason they call them futures is because farmers used to lock in contracts to lock in crop prices, like commodity prices. If they were growing coffee or whatever it was, they would lock in prices with speculators that they called futures contracts because they were locking in future yields prices. So when you trade futures, you're essentially trading commodities, is what you're trading. But you can trade the S&P 500 futures contract. It's called the E-mini, the micro E-mini. You can trade the NASDAQ as well. And so you can trade broad market ETFs with no PDT restrictions. And that's where the big edge is. That's where it gets you around the PDT rule. Because you can day trade essentially the S&P 500. You try to do, you can't do the same thing with the SPY. Like you can't buy the SPY with less than 25K and day trade more than 3 times a week. You could buy it, but you can't day trade more than 3 times a week. So, it's one of the big things that these economic releases influence. The big difference, though, is sizing. So one contract, and it's not like options. So one contract, each symbol that you trade, and they roll over every quarter. So you have to go to the most liquid contract every quarter. They roll over. But each symbol that you trade is going to have a different amount of profit and loss per tick, right? So per contract. So like the E-mini, which is ES/ES, every tick up or down that chart makes, you make or lose $12.50 in profit or losses, right? So if you have one contract and it goes against you one tick, you lose $12.50. If you have 4 contracts and it goes against you one tick, you lose $50. If you have one contract and it goes against you 4 ticks, you lose $50. Right? The E-mini, which is the micro E-mini, which is basically the E-mini but with smaller sizing. Every tick up or down, it's $1.25. And so again, same logic. And so you can find out, different ways to trade, but that's the biggest difference between stocks and futures is the sizing. One contract of the E-mini is essentially like trading 1,250 shares of anything. And so price per tick is kind of like cents per share. That's the major difference. I'm not sure, Maximus. I know futures, I think the market itself, so I think the SPY is going to be closed tomorrow. I think the stock market is closed tomorrow. I think the futures market closes, basically the last futures contract closes at, 9:15 market time. So 15 minutes before the closing, or before the opening bell is what it is. Yeah, so SPY break it down. So you see we cracked under the 4100 level of the E-mini. And this is and again, if you want to day trade futures and test out that market, check out the link in the description for Top Step. You get 25% off just for today alone. Starting to get a little bit of a bounce here. Again, we'll see if we actually hold. We cracked under that level here. And I'm curious, just remember, guys, it's a holiday weekend, right? So most markets are closed tomorrow. Volume will probably be lower today. And in that, it might be a sideways neutral day. I don't know if recession is upon us. What was the last GDP release? What was the last GDP report? All right, so the last report was on March 30th. What was that report? Let me look up. All right, so GDP came out. Okay, so GDP came in at 2.6%. So we're still showing a positive quarter. And again, what GDP yeah, the last quarter we had positive quarter for the fourth quarter of last year. So GDP is still coming in positive. So what's the logic for saying we're in a recession right now? Again, genuine question, not sure. They kept changing. Yeah, but the definition in the books is 2 consecutive GDP losing quarters, and again, we're not really there yet. Like we had that once last year, but the next one we did positive, so it's not like it was sustained. And so again, it depends on how you look at it, I guess. And that was months and months and months ago. And so I guess the point is like we're still showing positive economical growth. At least the last quarter we did 2.6% is what we showed. Is there any truth to shorts covering more? Market's testing lows again. All right, so still break it down. So yeah, we're bouncing a little bit. Let's see if we this level acts as a resistance level here. So yeah, so AMT pulling back down under 550 here. SPY at 406.50s. And so I guess I would think the momentum's a little bit on the upside now because of the pullbacks. Tesla bouncing up a little bit. You can see on the top right chart. Again, let's see if that resistance level holds. All right, so let's see if we get a resistance. I kind of want to short this. I might take a little bit of size here. We got 4 minutes until the opening bell, so I will just hold this until the open. And if we get some downward pressure, try to sell it quickly into the pop or into a potential rejection at the opening bell. Again, I do think we actually have more momentum on the upside right now, but I'm not confident in it, I guess, is the point. So down a little bit. The last couple days has been great though for my trading. If we look at my actual profit graph here, it's been pretty good this week. So like here's this week so far. Been a very volatile week, but all right, we're gonna cut this actually before the open. I don't want to hold this. Oh no, yeah, we're gonna cut this. I don't feel like holding that to the open. I changed my mind. Maybe I'm a little indecisive, but yeah, this has been the week so far here. We're running about a 4-to-1 win-loss ratio, about 4-to-1. We're up so far over this week about 2,000. Our drawdown is only about 1,400, and we're up about 2,000. So our profit is bigger than our drawdown, up about 2,040 bucks. So pretty good week. Again, I've been trying to get used to trading the regular E-mini. AMC starting to crack down here. All right, here's the opening bell in about a minute. Got about 1 minute. It is a long weekend too. We do have Bullard speaking. Dollar index is moving up. So yeah, I mean, here's the Dixie moving up today. Tesla bouncing back up a little bit too. Dollar index is moving up. So here's the opening bell. We'll see if that short would have worked. You can see Tesla starting to creep a little bit here. Look at Tesla up to 183s, 184s. We get AMC pulling back to 440. Just be careful, guys. Again, it's a long weekend. Today's the last day the market's open, and so because of that, we might get choppy sideways action today. Getting a little pop. I'm gonna let things play out a little bit. I see Tesla move up some. SPY rejecting some now. Right under 407s. We'll see if 407 continues to hold or what. Red to green. I don't know. Green to red, red to green. I'm not sure. Right now we're getting a red to red. But again, we've been a little bit too extended in that regard for my taste over the last couple days on the upside. So I haven't really bought up any swing trades really. Not at least like normal. Yeah, but I mean, again, we can say we're in a recession, but we're not getting negative GDP growth right now. The last quarter was positive, 2.6% is my point. And so I guess the point here is what's the justification for saying we're in a recession? Again, AMC starting to pop back up a little bit. It's at 444s, 445s. No, the market's not open until noon tomorrow. The futures market might be open a little bit, but the actual stock market isn't. So the actual stock market is closed tomorrow all day. I'm pretty sure. Let me check, but I'm pretty sure. Market breakdown strong now. Look at this breakdown. Yeah, bond market might be, but not the stock market. AMC rip it up to 450, testing VWAP here. We'll give a little bit of time for an opening range before we take some positions. Yeah, it's closed. Yeah, market's moving a little bit. I'll take a starter position, try to scale in on a little bounce, use maybe that level as a risk. I need to bounce up more so I can add some more to it, but I don't think we're getting that. Try to get maybe 4 contracts. I have been going with larger size lately. All right, so there's the pop. Add a little bit more, 3. We'll add up to 4, and then use this as a risk level, I think. Tsla with a big drop. Still trying to crack under lows. I could take some profit here. Take half off there, I guess. Or not half, a third off there. Let the rest ride. Take a little bit more off there, lock in profit, and then sit on the rest. See if we get a larger breakdown. Trying to build up a cushion so I can switch to the regular E-mini, which we might or might not get. I'm going to cut it right there. All right, so we just locked in a little bit of profit. Maybe we'll add back on a bounce, but just a little introductory trade. Again, I've asked this a couple times, guys, about people who say we're in a recession now. I've asked this a couple times, and I haven't really gotten any response. And so I've had people say, hey, we're in a recession. And then I'm like, hey, well, doesn't that mean 2 consecutive GDP losing quarters? And then it's just kind of, then they don't say anything. Again, question. If we are in a recession, according to you, what's the justification for saying we're in a recession right now? I've heard a couple people say it. Genuinely curious, not saying I disagree. I'm just trying to figure out why people are saying we're in a recession currently. Tesla pull it back to 180s. I mean, I usually go with the 2 consecutive losing GDP quarters for my definition. But again, by that logic, the last GDP release, which was a week ago, was 2.6% growth. So that's, I mean, I guess that's the question. All right, AMC rip it all the way back up here, 460s. Fun fact, the SPY has not had one green candle all day since the opening bell. Since the opening bell, the SPY has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles. 7 in a row. I'm going to buy now. Not a huge size, maybe 2 or 3 contracts. See if we get a bounce. I don't usually take trades like this, but so many red candles in a row, I think there might be some just genuine, just small extension that I could play. All right, we just sold half. All right, got a little bit of a bounce. There we go. Took another half off. Gonna go ahead and ride the rest off. All right, so we're up about $30 on the day. Taking that trade again. This is the type of kind of short-term extension I use to influence my trades, based off of probabilities. Yeah, maybe it's coming, but we're not there yet. Yeah, for sure. Again, basic stitching is what I'm looking at. Again, we get 7, 8 green candles or 7 or 8 red candles in a row when we drop big percentages. Even if we continue down now, I think a small bounce is pretty probable in that situation. And look, there's the continuation drop. So again, we got in, we got out. This is how we scalp when we do scalp is like that. Uh, yeah, layoffs have been getting some interesting reactions in markets too, for sure. All right, we got a down wick, which means some buying pressure's rolling through, but who knows what we're gonna get now. All right, so testing this low right now. All right, getting a little pop here. Again, sideways in nature currently over the last 2 or 3 minutes, but obviously downtrend since the opening bell. Tesla is bouncing over 181s. Um, dollar index dropped down to 102s or so, right around 102s. Um, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Rick, that's not my only trading style, brother. So, Rick, again, most of the time I'm actually trading based off of swing trade extension or like longer term extension. So, like, most of the time, the way I'm trading is looking at daily charts and 4 hour charts and stuff like that. I only have a 1 minute chart up so we can watch the short term price action. And I day trade, but a lot of it is based around trends. I will occasionally scalp like I just did. Um, but again, a lot of the rest of the strategy revolves around trends and extension. So I guess the point is, I'm not taking huge size doing this type of trading. Dixie bouncing up a little bit. We could get some weakness in the market from this. John called the only green candle today. Yeah, we try over here, man. We try. You know. Oh. Dixie moving up a little bit again. Very sideways movement so far. I mean, we've had weak movement. Don't get me wrong. But All right, still breaking down again. I don't trust it enough. You can kind of see maybe some influence over the dollar here. The dollar index is moving up to 102.10s right now. We will start maybe getting ready to buy up some stuff too. But the problem though is that sometimes this happens and we get big downward moves. So I could buy up the same strategy that I did before, but again, I don't necessarily trust it enough to do so right now. So we're just gonna wait and get a longer term intraday trend show up. Yeah, it's not choppy. Maybe I shouldn't say choppy. It's more so down. Um, it's more so down, but we're at a point now where I'm not confident enough on the upside, but we're too extended on the downside for me to buy it or for me to short it in day trading. I don't want to short it at the low of the day on deep extension after the open. So yeah, I shouldn't have said choppy. So there's the bounce. I could have bought it up. Again, this is why I didn't want to short it here. 406 is an interesting level on the SPY, which is right around 4,100 on the E-mini or so. Sort of green candles now. Maybe. Again, I don't trust it enough either way. Downward trend for sure, but we're pretty extended away from the volume weighted average price. And so I don't like it. It's too far down for me to short. I think there's a higher probability that we bounce. But again, with these situations, it's certainly not a for sure thing. And so I guess I just don't see much edge in this. I mean, you could continue on the trend, the downward trend. It's obviously in a little bit of a downward trend since the open. But again, I just don't trust it enough yet. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too, Bomb, is that there's too much of a risk of a flush and there's not enough real edge showing up right now. I'm kind of looking at Tesla and Apple, see if those kind of help me guide the trade a little bit. Apple getting weak. I'm going to take one contract here, maybe a little bit more. Just because I see Apple starting to look weak. I see the dollar index moving up, and I see Tesla pulling back a little bit. But again, it's a very small trade so far. I don't know if there's really much edge in this. So I don't want to take huge size. And I could add some on a bounce maybe if we get that. We can add a little bit more. 2 contracts here. Only problem is Apple just kind of creeped up a little bit more. I'm going to cut this. I don't trust it. So we're going to get out basically flat just now. Oh, man, I should have held the short. It's all right. Right about direction. Just got faked out a little bit. All right, so we're getting a little bounce up. I could short it, but there's too much sideways. I guess I could short a little bit more here. We're eventually going to try to build up some cushion so we can take some regular E-mini trades. That's loud. There we go. So I'm in this trade, small trade. The question is, do I want to add some and take a swing? I think so. 4 contracts. See if we reverse quickly here. Luckily, we got a little bit of a cushion to swing into today, but that looks not good. Yeah, we're going to close that. So got faked out a little bit, down on the day now, but still relatively small. Took a little bit of a trade there. I'm trying to trade the regular E-mini, but like I don't see any. I guess I'm just gonna have to take some size here. I'm gonna short some more into this pop, and then maybe try to take some size. I don't mind if I lose a couple hundred today. We've been making a couple hundred every day. I was trying to trade the regular E-mini, but for whatever reason, the chart's kind of looking wrong. So I don't know if I want to do that right now. A little bit of both. I like Tesla. I watch Tesla stock because it influences the market. It's the number 6 weight on the S&P. So I'll watch it because of that, and I watch Apple and Amazon too, and Nvidia, stuff like that. That influences the Q. Try this out to see if it. I guess I could put a 5-minute chart up. No data. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the micro or the E-mini today is off. Took half off there, just locked in a couple dollars in profit. Let the rest ride, but I'd like to trade the regular E-mini. That's why I wanted to short this one, but and look, there goes Tesla flush. So we were right to short into this drop. Took half off. We were right to short into this drop, but wrong about the timing. They were right to short into this bounce, but wrong about the timing. Anybody else on Top Step having trouble with the regular E-mini today? All right, so we're basically flat again on that last short. We are down about $10, so basically flat. Again, if I would have traded the regular E-mini, it would have worked out, but for whatever reason, the regular E-mini is looking off. Like, look what happens when I try to put up the regular E-mini, which is ESM3. Unless it rolled over that I didn't know. I don't think it rolled over, though, but this is what the chart looks like. When I try to put a long-term chart up, it says all the data is gone. Let me, I'm going to sign off and sign back on of Quant Tower. Second. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Yeah, all good. Mad at trying to move. All right. Well, there we go. We're in there with the regular. Let's try to. Yeah, see? Okay, there it is. It opened up way down there. Well, at least it's working. All right. All right, market's testing lows again. I don't want to get stuck in chop, and Apple's starting to push up at 162.50. Very low daily volume the last couple days. Today's a little bit better, but Tesla dipping down though. Dollar index moving up. Generally positive signs. Apple's starting to flush, which is kind of what you want if you're looking to short. Yeah, we're right at the lows of the day. Let's see if we get a crack breakdown here. All right, we did take one candle of the regular E-mini. Looks like we're catching a reversal bounce on myself, so we'll give it a chance, but yeah, I'm going to cut that. That looks like I might squeeze some shorts out there. Just lost, let me see what I lost. We lost about $100. And again, I don't mind losing a couple hundred today. Market's been tough, so, you know, if it happens, it happens. Market looks like it wants to rebound all the way back up. It's getting ready to test the VWAP here. Still pumping up, breaking out of the trend that it was into. So a lot of shorts getting squeezed out like I just was. Apple ripping up over highs too. So strength coming through for sure. Yeah, we'll see if the market reverses. Again, I'm up about 2,000 on the week, guys, just to put this into perspective. So y'all might see me lose $100 and be like, "Oh no," you know. But again, to put it in perspective here, that is my week, guys. So I mean, we could act like I'm just out of control today because I lost $100, but like y'all know. Uh, Apple actually looks pretty strong though, so I think we could see a rip back up. But again, I'm just kind of sitting back. Question. With the rise of these platforms and people like you doing what you do, how much of an effect do you all have on the overall market? Virtually none. I mean, it depends on like penny stock pumpers, obviously. Like penny stock streamers and pumpers have more influence over their niche than I do. I cover large blue chips. Like everybody in here could buy Apple at one point in time and it wouldn't do anything. It's not like I'm influencing stocks in any significant way or the futures market as a whole. Again, the only subset of that is penny stocks. They're influencing things. They're pumping up stuff. But yeah, me in general, I'm not influencing markets at all, especially not the E-mini. All right, big rip up. Yeah, I hear the Fed's talking right now. I'm sitting tight here, guys. I think Bullard's speaking. Somebody said, right? Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit back here again. Apple's starting to creep up, trying to break highs here. Very nice, Ernie. Yeah, it'll be an interesting little market here. It's a holiday day, so like after today, the market's closed. And again, if you want to day trade with me, I'm day trading on Top Step. Top Step is a funded account program for futures in which they give you a demo. And if you can hit the target on said demo while following their rules, they fund you between 50 grand up to 150K with a 90% split once you're funded. They fund thousands of traders a year, pay out millions of dollars in actual withdrawals every year. Genuinely one of the easiest ways to gain exposures into the market without taking on a ton of risk. If you lose, it's not the end of the world, but if you can pass it, you still keep 90% of your profit, and they test your profitability. And again, there's no PDT in futures. So you can day trade, short futures, no PDT restriction. and Top Step funds traders in that market. Again, great way to test your skill. I think most people are going to fail these funded account programs. And I think that's okay because I think it's a lot cheaper to fail a funded account program than it is to put up the money yourself and risk that. Again, most new traders are going to lose. And so you can either lose on a funded account program, still build skill. If you're good enough, still keep 90% of your profit once you're funded, but with much less risk, or you could put up 20K yourself and risk losing that. And lose potentially thousands of dollars. And I think the obvious answer is simple. I'm biased in their favor. But again, this is the easiest way to test your skill and trade. Again, there's no PDT in futures, and you can get 20% off or 25% off actually right now. So you get 25% off this funded account program right now just for today. 25% off. So again, if you want to check them out, there is the link. Great way to help support the channel and your boy here. And yeah, we appreciate the love, guys. Market's trying, but choppy, sideways. Market is flying up. Apple breaking highs. SPY ripping up too. But yeah, I'll probably go to close it down. I just don't see much going on right now. We're green on the day, actually, believe it or not. We're very small green, but green nonetheless. We are up a whopping. Let me see what we're green on. We are up a whopping $50 today. So I will take that. Whopping $50. We are up $47.50 today. You love to see it. Hey, I'll take it. Good luck, y'all. Be safe. Again, check out these sponsors. Again, another one of my sponsors is Chart Prime. Genuinely a cool sponsor, man. $35 a month, so very cheap. And again, if you really want to see them, check them out. Like here's Chart Prime. And so again, you can kind of see Chart Prime offers a bunch of different stuff. They're a sponsor of mine. Like you can see, look, you can see this rising wedge. This is a 3-hour chart. This is my favorite way to use Chart Prime, to be honest. Because I mean, if we zoom in here and we actually look at their signals, they can be just powerful, man. Like, look at this. So again, reversal up. I like finding multiple showing up together at once. Like that's my favorite way to do it. So again, you get 3 different indicators showing up here. Bullish engulfing candle here, bullish engulfing candle here, reversal up signal there, right? And all of that, you get bounces over literal days. Predicted the very bottom of this too. Same thing here, possible reversal down and 2 other candlestick patterns. You get drops over literal days. And again, if you zoom out here, if I zoom out, you can kind of see what I mean. Like, I can't fake this. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm definitely biased, but I can't fake this. Look, reversal down, drop, reversal down, drop, reversal up, bounce, reversal down, drop, reversal up, bounce, reversal up, bounce, reversal down, drop, drop. Same thing. So, and you can also see, you can see the rising wedge. It'll show you those wedges. You could also use it in terms of short-term patterns as well. And this is just a small piece. A lot of people love their oscillator, which is like a little bit more profound of an RSI. But again, here's a 1-minute chart. You can see it literally called this very bottom move here. Like, look, reversal up and 2 bullish engulfing candles. Huge bounce. And so again, it's called Chart Prime, Trading View Indicator Service. Check it out. Love you all. Y'all have a safe and fun weekend. Again, a lot of you guys are not going to be back tomorrow, but we are going to be streaming bright and early tomorrow. So we will be streaming. We're not going to stream as long. We're going to, we're definitely not streaming all day, but we will cover unemployment and non-farm payrolls tomorrow. So subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit the notification bell. Love you all. Y'all be good. I'll see you guys later.